Welcome back to P-List Exist. Today, this video. You guys aren't very too enthusiastic, aren't you?
I'm enthusiastic for this one.
Didn't even say the intro. Oh well.
What's up, everyone? Welcome.
I really dislike that intro. And I'm already just going straight to the comments. This is a very good start. Emperor Luffy. Pretty much everything in this video is wrong, so I'm just gonna assume most of this is trolling. I too
If the first
thought that.
comment, if the first comment is saying it's wrong, well, a lot of videos tend to say it's like, oh, I agree with you 100%. So, oh boy, this can't be good.
Oh, I seen a good bit, and I completely agree with this Emperor Luffy. Oh, Joan Jones, we get it. You're a Naruto fan. Lol. He's a Sasuke fan. He and I were
What?
corrected. He's a Sasuke fan. So that puts into question his relations with the Naruto franchise. But that's for a different topic for some other person.
Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I will be reviewing and grading One Piece. And this is the second video in my new anime graded series on the channel. And everything I say about One Piece in this video will apply to both the anime and the manga, as I will be reviewing the story as a whole. And I'll be giving my grade / my rating for the story at the end of the video.
Now, I paused again, because technically, there has been anime that departs quite a bit from the manga. There's one that comes to mind. So it's unfair, not fair, to conjoin the anime to the manga and not know the changes. Well, not say anything about the changes, especially at the start.
We have the video up a bit louder. I can't really hear him super well.
Oh, I'll see what I can do about that. Because the audio mixing
Thank you
on
very
the
much.
recording is going to be not that much different. It's pretty wank if you actually heard the videos. Also, Zoro with the bandana and smiling is not very pleasant to look at. It's not very bien.
I skimmed ahead with the video, like, you can skim ahead to see the video. He does go off that image eventually, but it is just like that for like several minutes.
No, I meant not like the image per se is gonna be annoying. I'm just saying Zoro with his bandana on in the thumbnail / wallpaper like this is pretty interesting.
Yeah, it is what it is, but I feel it'd be better if it wasn't just one image all the time. One image doesn't tend to stay well if you're having to look at it directly all the time
Where'd he get the bandana?
for a video.
Zoro. Now that's an unresolved plot element. Where did Zoro get his bandana? Wait, not bandana.
Where
But
wait, do we know where Usopp gets his bandana from?
it's certainly from his village. So I'm guessing he also got it from the village that he was sort of raised in. Mystery
Where did
solved.
Nami get her bandana from? Because we had one in like the first episode.
Filler. Slashed.
Yeah.
Added content. Slashed. The Elvita saga was cut. Well, change per se, but whatever. Off topic. Get on the video. Why is no one else speaking?
Now, with that being said, I just would like you guys to know that I have watched over 500 episodes of One Piece, and I've read some of the manga as well. And I stopped watching at the end of the Fishman Island arc. Now, for those people who might say, "Oh, you can't talk about the series because you're not up to date or whatever," that's a very, very illogical argument to make because you can obviously talk about. Like I've watched over 500 episodes. You don't need to be fully up to date to talk about a series or to criticize it. As I know, I'm sure a lot of people watch One Piece reviewers who may be behind on a couple of chapters here and there, and then they give their,
Pause.
they still.
Yeah.
Okay, so um, I have to. So I'm a bit of a stickler for details. I had to look this up just to be 100% certain. Okay, so he's probably watched more than 500 episodes, because 500 episodes of One Piece is in the what do you call it? Luffy's flashback. 500 episodes in is not the Fishman Island arc yet, so that's a bit iffy on his points already.
Well, if he skipped the filler episodes, that could reduce the amount of episodes he watched.
I guess, but if he's watching it for the first time, he doesn't know what's filler or not. I mean, I guess that
People
does make
often
sense if he
use
only
guides
watches
for
500
that.
episodes. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this
I
man
guess
could
that
have
makes sense,
just.
but he should really mention that.
So the man potentially, if not most likely, missed out on the G5 saga. Unfortunate for him.
That's like really solid. That's a pretty good arc. That's one of my favorite funny moments of One Piece.
Commander Jonathan is pretty good, I have to say. He's, uh, well, the arc was pretty tight. Very good interaction with the crew, especially at that side. No, particularly in that size is when the most person-to-person action. Yeah, the most Straw Hat action. Okay. And then that clip. I'm not sure why I'm doing it like this, but well, whenever you preview the episode, you'll be greeted to it. Luffy decides to stalk this marine. Why? Why? Why do we have such good things for it just to be thrown away by people who don't understand? Oh. Well, anyways, like you said, well, typed meme, yes, the Zoro does look more threatening because the bandana is meant to be a threat. Perhaps even a death sentence.
Still talk about One Piece and stuff, and they say they got to catch up or whatever, and they review chapters late or whatever. So, point being, yeah, that's the case for that. And if something is taking over 500 episodes to get good, then that's a problem in general. Like usually, if something is taking over, first of all, the foundation is the most important
Pause.
part.
Ah, yes.
I swear I've heard this argument before. One Piece was good way before 500 episodes. We heard this argument before from Hat Guy.
No, that's not what
You
he
know,
said.
the
He
guy.
said it wasn't good, even up to 500 episodes.
And still, the point of like One Piece was still good before then. I don't know what. I don't know. I don't know. I guess he just doesn't like it. He was expecting something different. But like, One Piece was good definitely before 500 episodes.
Good is a subjective quality. A subjective notion.
It is subjective, but I feel there's enough marking of subjective quality to say One Piece is a good series.
You mean of objective quality overall to subjective?
Yeah, yes, yeah, there's enough. If I measure series to other series, One Piece ranks as a good, if not great, series.
Mm. It's a lot of hypotheticals rolling in my head, but there there are, as far as I can, well, as far as I can, nah, as far as I believe, I'll just say that. As far as I believe, there are definitely qualities that one can say is objective and can be deduced as good. Also, I forgot something, so I'm just gonna play it back so it recharge my memory.
Be fully up to date to talk about a series or to criticize it. As I know, I'm sure a lot of people watch
All right, you don't have to be fully up to date to criticize something, but you do have to see enough of it. 500 episodes is enough, but you just don't say something is bad. Then again, if there's like 2,000 episodes of One Piece and you only watch 500, is that a fair assessment of One Piece? Because I'm
You
thinking,
can,
well, he saw half of it, and that half is 500, and you see my train of thought going, right?
yeah, you can critique what you see. Yeah, that's perfectly fine to do, but it's not great to say you can judge all of it. Like if I just played two of the Mass Effect games, one and two, it's like yeah, Mass Effect is a great series. But if I never play the third one, where it gets terrible, well, you wouldn't know it gets terrible if you never played it. But so you come off freshly that it'll end off well, but because the third game's terrible, well, drops the overall quality of the series. For an example of like not judging everything per se.
Yeah.
I suppose 500 episodes is enough to make a general assessment. I
I
mean,
But
guess that works with what I guess that works with One Piece, given that One
yeah.
Piece is fairly similar plot-wise. Luffy goes to it is a bit of a reductionist statement, but Luffy goes to Ireland. Luffy and crew go to Ireland and solve Ireland's problems is fairly standard for the One Piece formula. So you could generally work out how One Piece feels from there, if we're being fair.
Also, especially since One Piece is that long, if you don't like the first 500 episodes, I guess that would be enough to, if you don't like it, say that you don't like it. I would not expect anyone to watch 1000 episodes to say they doesn't don't like it. That's quite the heavy time investment.
quite much is. Unless it's that bad where it just comes around as being enjoyable.
Where
In
the
which
only
case, that's a
thing
different argument.
the only thing which I would not accept in this case is that he says, so yeah, this is not explained properly. If he those arguments I would not accept in such a case because there's a lot of stuff they haven't seen yet. So it might be explained there or in the future since it's not finished yet.
We got good at chapter 1 meme spice. You could say that, but I don't think this guy would agree. Or maybe he would agree, and it all just went downhill from there.
You're doing some quick maths in my head. That's close to 200 hours of like stuff you'd have to watch for One Piece to get to 500 episodes. So yeah, definitely a bit of a time investment.
Did you equate all the transitional scenes? You know, not the transitional scenes. What do they call it again?
Like
Those
openings and stuff.
openings, endings, and the ad breaks. The ad break eye catchers. That's what it's called.
And not included those. I just went up 20 times that. by 3 to get an hour, and then how many hours that would make for 500 episodes.
Yeah, I suppose
It's
20
rough
minutes.
math.
I would assume 20 minutes an episode without opening and ending is a fair assessment.
Yeah, I mean,
First of all,
you'd skip the ad breaks, and if you didn't enjoy the openings or endings, you would skip those, I guess.
the foundation is the most important part of any story. The foundation, the starting. It's taking over episodes to get good, then that's a problem in general. Like usually, if something is taken over, first of all, the foundation is the most important part of any story. The foundation, the starting point, and if the foundation is bad, most likely the story is bad, and it's not really worth watching. If it has about
What?
What he says is if the beginning of a show is really bad, most people will drop it there.
Yeah, he just used foundation,
So, like,
which is not really
Well, it is
correct.
a term that is used in story description somewhat, but it is a bit overcomplicated for a view like this.
because foundation in this case would more be the concept behind One Piece, which is the search for the One Piece,
Yeah,
not the start of the series.
yeah, that's true. Right.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So the video in question is wrong from the get go on that point. And the first episode of One Piece is decent. Like, it's not great, but like, if you're judging a 1,000 episode series, give it maybe a bit more leeway before judging it. Like, for a 24 episode anime, 3 episodes, if you're not going to enjoy it, that's fine. For One Piece, I say, if you're not enjoying it by like the first, either up to Baratier or Arlong Park, you're probably not going to enjoy One Piece.
Yeah, those are the first two big moments where you can see if you like it as Verite and Along Park. Those are like, I don't know, there was a term for it, like, I don't remember that, like, checks if it's something for you, and those would be Verite and Along Park.
bad foundation, it's not really worth watching, and it's not worth wasting your time on it if it has about bad foundation. If you have to watch over 20 episodes for it to get interesting, then that's a problem as well. So, like I said, if it has bad foundation, that's not good
Pause.
in general.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's a time issue, why not just read it then? Reading tends to be faster than watching it, especially given the means in which the One Piece anime gets stretched out sometimes. If it's purely just a
Definitely.
time issue.
But reading is hard.
Yeah, but 20 minutes takes
Yeah,
20 minutes. Well, I can.
but you will have, if you don't watch the dubbed version, you have to read the subtitles anyway.
Or you do the pro
Oh,
gamer
no.
move while just while just playing Fortnite in the background and catching glimpses of the subtitles.
Just like Bricky.
That character is someone else. Not just because we're not reviewing his video right now.
And the story's not good in general if it's taking over 500 episodes or over 200 episodes or over 20 chapters or over 20 episodes or whatever to get good, then it's not a good story. Now, with all of that being said, let's get right into it. So I'm gonna start off by talking about the most important thing about any fictional story, and that's the characters. You cannot have a story without characters. You can't have a story without characters. You can have a story that takes place in one setting.
Pause. Okay, I am firmly on the character camp, but you will get people who are more plot over characters in regards to the most important thing, because the most important thing is a bit of a big statement to say in that regard that characters are the most important thing.
But but the other point is very much correct that you need some sort of characters to carry your story. Because if you just have plot, it will fall apart at somewhere.
If it's just
Yeah,
plot, you're just
characters
reading a
are important,
script
but
per se. Or a storyboard.
Yeah, but which is more important, that can very much differ on opinion.
Certainly.
yeah, this is a more arguable point that characters are important, but it's arguable that other things are just as important. And it's not the most important.
Or something like that that doesn't, you can't have a story like that takes place in one setting and it still works. But you cannot have a story without characters. Therefore, characters is the most important part about any story. And I'm gonna start off
I
with
guess.
Monkey D. Luffy, the main character, the protagonist of One Piece, and he is literally one of the worst, if not the
Yeah, I
worst,
remember this part.
fictional character of all time.
That's a proclamation.
That's a loaded statement.
Yeah,
Jeez.
bit of a
Oh
hyperbolic
my god.
statement as well. I wonder if he can back that huge claim up with huge
He
evidence.
he cannot.
I mean, I
This
did
this
not
gets into a
expect
thing
it
that
to.
this gets into a thing that I feel has popped up a lot on ALX. How much has this guy watched? How much has this guy consumed that he can say that Luffy is the worst character of all time? He cannot have watched that much, actually.
I'm afraid he will make those same arguments that many people make about Luffy. I'm a bit afraid of that.
When
Oh,
I think
Luffy's
when
a
I think
big
of
dumb
oh
punch
sorry.
idiot that eats. I'm just making a point. I was just making the joke. Oh, Luffy's big dumb and an idiot, and he punches and eats things. Oh, what a bland, generic shonen protagonist.
That's what usual. That's what
That's
the
what I can.
usual people say. Yes. I also
I'm.
thought. Sorry.
No, no,
Uh,
no. You go ahead.
I've had I've had this thought just now that potentially, even if the guy has seen a lot of fiction, it could either or be bad works of fiction that this guy likes or exclusively bad things that this guys have seen. So, just a theoretical. I thought he could just have seen bad content for majority of his experience and
Well,
didn't know how to compare off of.
or he has seen only the most amazing stuff ever. So in comparison, Luffy is bad. But given his
But given that
other
it's One
things, I
Piece,
think.
this is pretty good stuff, so you can't say that. Sorry, bot.
I mean, yeah, yeah. That's not what I mean. I mean, yeah, I guess.
So, just as a small tangent on things he's seen, I feel this. We already saw the Naruto anime, but just as a thing to highlight how he is, we've got in his description subscribe for more epic weekly Boruto anime reviews and manga anime topics reviews, as well as AMVs. So, yeah, we have an idea about
Yeah, I
what this
mean,
guy sort of is.
of course, we know he didn't only see the most amazing stuff, but that could be an explanation why somebody would call it that. Of course, this does not apply here, but yeah, I try not to be very insulting sometimes, but yeah.
Yeah, I took a minute to like scroll through his videos. It's all Naruto.
It can't be all just Naruto. There has to be something other than Naruto.
It's all Naruto.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review, and for this video, I will be proving that Naruto.
Naruto is the most popular anime slash manga ever. Yeah.
No.
No,
That's
Yes.
wrong. Oh my god, that's terrible. Oh, debunking it. Oh, that video looks. That video looks good. Oh, in a bad way.
Can't
It's
say
not.
can't say I have a strong opinion on this guy when talking about stuff now. I'm just gonna put this in the A-list chat.
He's got other stuff in his, like,
Whoop,
what do you call it? Like the top of his art. Like there's a Code Geass thing there, and other things.
whoop.
It's like he must have seen other things. Maybe. I hope.
Oh,
well, at, well, at
he
least in his channel header there were different pictures of different anime.
he may have seen other things, but they do not compare. Is no competition compared to Naruto. Either that or he just wants to be an anime channel. And Naruto is the only thing he actually cares about speaking about.
Okay. There's one video where it's like filler explained, and the thumbnail has zero filler in Boruto, and I'm like, no, Boruto is like 80% filler. Like that thumbnail is so absurdly wrong.
I'm pretty sure he
Did
only watched the anime.
did he forget
No,
about
the anime has
Minecraft arc where nothing
the the
happened
the,
at the
ta-
end?
the arc where they go. There's so much filler in Boruto to say there's no filler is actually absurd and incorrect and wrong, or ludicrously
Just
wrong.
gonna take a gander at this. Also, like I said, he may have only just watched. The
What's up,
hell's.
everyone? Welcome back to.
Jeez, talk about night and day. The mic quality. Uh, well, this both is going to answer what he thinks about Naruto and what he thinks about other, and by the looks of it, primarily Japanese cartoons.
Oh man.
Just let me skip a little bit ahead. And JoJo's at F tier? Oh, JoJo's at F tier, but he put the entirety, I presume, of Dragon Ball on C tier next to One Piece.
Jojo's pretty good.
Is that Bleach? Man, wait, he doesn't think highly of My Hero Academia? Alright, this guy's a little
That's
decent.
no.
But he put Fairy Tail above JoJo, which is pretty concerning.
I was honestly expecting to put Hunter x Hunter higher. He feels like the sort of person who put Hunter x Hunter as a really high up series.
I wonder what
Well,
other they are in S besides Death Note.
Oh wait, no, I got that wrong. That's One Punch Man is in F tier. Yeah, My Hero Academia is in S.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
You know, this is why I wish people would make better, like,
Okay,
tier
it's
list images, because I would like to know the names of these things sometimes.
I
oh
mean,
no, Attack
there are
on
some.
Titan's in the GOAT tier. Oh no. Oh, this poor fool. He doesn't know what's coming.
of course they
I mean,
have
there are some choices I agree with, but most of it I don't.
Bleach, Naruto, Boruto, Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball. Uh I don't know what the hell that thing is. Attack on
Probably Black
Titan.
Clover.
Is it? Well, I haven't really seen Black Clover, so I don't know. So yeah,
Can't
the
really make it
goats.
out. It's like really small, the image.
yeah.
Uh yeah, this is a list. At the very least he put Super in C tier, which is pretty high for Super standards.
This is trash.
Oh, Devil
This is
PvP.
he's
But
Your
just
list
the
is perfect, especially Naruto and Boruto. Alright,
he's
Devil
just a
PvP.
big shonen fan.
He's a
Doesn't have anything other than big popular shonens on his list.
he's a big Naruto
Well,
fan.
some of them aren't shown, but yeah. Oh, yeah.
this
Wait, which
man needs
ones?
some
We're getting off
darling
topic, but
Death Note.
Sorta, which is getting a frame of
Death
reference on what he
Death Note's a
likes.
shonen series. Death Note was definitely a shonen series.
I see. Do we
At
put
least his
anything on
goat
Devil
is
May?
shown and exclusive. Up
This
S tier,
man,
there are some non-shonens there, but yeah.
this man is
Yes.
such a shonen boy. He needs to watch some Gurren Lagann. Maybe that'll get him to branch out.
Gurren Lagann ain't that different compared to the stuff that he's liking.
Hey,
I say
it's
not that
different.
different, but shonen you put shonen in a genre which it really isn't. So oh,
Yeah, this
there's
man
more
needs to
people
watch
here. Sorry.
Darling in the Franxx, Death Note. Hello,
Hello, hello.
Alfonso.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Missing
Just
the garbage fire.
just making a video. I should clarify. We are being recorded.
Oh,
Oh,
I need to.
So I'm just making sure
Wonderful.
that you know.
Can you give me a plug?
Sure, just say your channel name and I'll do what the hell else.
I'm just joking. Just joking. I don't have anything up yet, so don't. It'd be pretty pointless.
Cringe. Oh, I see the filler explained. Yeah, this is pretty. What the hell is this guy on? I'll just put up the thumbnail because I won't actually look at it. But
I'm not against filler. It's just most of it's not as good as the original thing. I have some tolerance for it.
fair enough. But in the thumbnail, it's implying that One Piece is 50% filler, while Boruto is 0% filler, and that's factually incorrect. Depending on what you account as filler, though, so on and so forth. Anyway, back to the video that we're actually looking at.
I mean, have you seen Dressrosa?
And that the reason why
No response. Get out of here.
that's the case is because he has
I
literally
mean,
no
I'm not
character
saying Boruto is good, but
Uh,
they do have filler.
technically, it isn't filler. It's just stretched out content.
I call that filler.
It is
Fair
sort of
enough.
difficult to
I
judge
guess.
because filler is sort of blending the lines because if they spend longer than they need to on the shot, but it's still the same shot, then they are filling it up. But you can't call it exclusive series filler, but it's filler nonetheless. I would say it's difficult to do.
Yeah, filler has too many connotations, or not enough connotation. It's either the two. No one can really get filler correct.
Yeah, I'd say so. One Piece has some decent filler, but I wouldn't say they got it down.
development in order to show or to prove that a character
Whoop.
he has literally no character development in order to show
Yep, no character development. Y'all heard it. The classic no character development Luffy. You guys did hear
He
that,
takes
right?
the world with a static character for a reason. The world bends to him.
He technically had a few character developments, and he definitely was about to have one major character development.
I'd say the stuff about PG in later age, yeah.
But all in all, I was about to say Naruto. Luffy is. Also, I was about to say One Piece. Luffy is kind of a static character. He's quite the static
Yeah,
character.
that's the point.
That is just his character.
that the reason why that's the case is because he has literally no character development in order to show or to prove that a character has character development. You need to show their internal monologue changing and how the differences between their internal monologue over time, because the word character means literally the definition of the word character is the mental and moral traits distinctive to an individual.
So he put mental as Luffy speaking in his mind. Gotcha. Also, you're expecting way too. And those two people left. You're expecting way too much for Luffy for having some morality change. Or really any character, depending on, the actual character.
I feel when people are expecting character development, they want complete 100% character 180s. Like they want them to be not the same character anymore, or like completely different. Like they could see like Usopp to stop being a coward 100%, but that's not going to happen even. Usopp's still going to have some cowardice in him because that's a large part of his character. He's fairly weak.
especially off screen in the time skip. It has, if he's going to
Well,
change, it has to be on screen. Eh, You said something, balance.
oh, nothing. Sorry, I forgot I was
Anyway,
still on.
anyway, a character shouldn't have to have a major change in their actual character or in their mental and moral quality to be character development. Broad strokes this man is painting on.
The word character is the mental and moral traits distinctive to an individual. And the word development is, the changing, the process of something changing or growing over time. And so basically, what character development means is a character's mental and moral traits changing over time. And for One Piece,
Now, if we're just going strictly off the conjoined words, alright, but no. Unless that's the true definition of character development, in which case, not a lot of characters in fiction have character development.
The definition wouldn't really fit.
I mean, if you want to go by characters having complete big change, then the biggest I don't even call that character development. I just call that. I'm not even sure if I call it character development because it's just a major shift in character. But like Light in episode 1 of Death Note from being normal person to I will become God with the power of the Death Note.
You could say he
That's a complete character shift.
always have that aspiration in his
I would,
character, but was never really hinted at until, the book.
I would argue that was a character de-evolution. Like, he devolved as a character after that. Like, from a moral and growth standpoint.
Sorry, you were pretty muted there.
I'd argue that Light devolved as a character, like at least from character growth, when he got his hands on the Death Note, because he became a total psychopath.
You could say that, but this is character development. Uh, his character change. Therefore, it is character development. Not inherently a good or bad change.
And that'd be the opposite of character development. It'd be a character shift. Yep,
Uh,
so
I
it'd be a
guess,
switch.
but you could say he had aspirations. He could have some sort of god complex, but it wasn't really shown really detailedly until hypothetical.
With the way of being a god, so
Well, I mean,
I guess
you can always have complexes and not actually have the. Yeah, I'm I'm done with this hypothetical.
I have more I could say, but we'd be going on a tangent. And well, not that tangents aren't a problem. It's just that we're not progressing that far in the video, and there's probably more dumber stuff he's going to say.
Yeah, we're just saying ideology right now and concepts. Not a bad thing, but we're going technically off topic on the video.
Luffy, that's not the case with him. You can't show or display his mental and moral traits changing over time because he does have internal monologue, meaning he doesn't have thoughts that's changing over time because Luffy, Oda doesn't give Luffy internal monologue. Therefore, he doesn't show Luffy's thoughts at all throughout the series. Therefore, you can't show or prove that his thought process or his mental and moral traits has changed over time. And obviously, mental and moral.
Uh, since I haven't really read the manga, I'm pretty sure he means. No, wait a minute. He hasn't read the manga. Never mind.
Yeah, what
What
is he
do you
doing?
mean you can't show his
He read a bit of it.
thing?
Now he heard someone say it because this is the anime graded, and he's saying the anime is helping him with understanding the story in both the anime and manga, which they say is unfair depending on series and so on and so forth.
Where is this video being posted? Because I want to see this end result after.
The B list exists chapter, not channel, not chapter. You had something to say, Ryder?
I had a point. I had a point, but I forgot it now. It might come back to me. Yeah.
At any rate, this guy is specifically talking about monologue ink, which is not what Luffy does.
Oh yeah, I remembered my point. It is clear through Luffy's actions that you don't need his monologuing, you don't need his inner dialogue to understand his thoughts or his changes in the story. It's clear through how he acts that he has changed in story.
Or it should be. But this guy doesn't see it.
Well, if he apparently got to Fishman, I don't know. I don't know where he got to in Fishman Island, but I can. But there are examples in Fishman Island to point to. No, Luffy has definitely developed as a character.
Let me just.
Or prove that his thought process or his mental and moral traits has changed over time. And obviously, mental and moral, that comes from your brain. Therefore, that basically means your thoughts. And since Luffy has no internal monologue, you can't show that his thought process has changed over time. Therefore, you can't show you can't show he has character development. You can't.
Yeah, he really is specifically saying monologuing. So he just wants Luffy to monologue.
That's like, you know how hard it is to make that feel natural? Like he can't express it through actions? This is ridiculous.
Especially with Luffy as a character, which he doesn't get as a not very thinking guy who do the punching very hard. All right.
This is
Mhm.
sort of a spoiler. I say sort of, but okay, I'm not really going to say in the context of what's happening. But Luffy does say. But Luffy does say he doesn't like thinking in his head, so he just speaks out loud whenever he needs to think something. That's basically why he doesn't have an inner monologue. Whatever he says is what he's thinking. It's spoiling because it happens later. It's the only real known instance of that happening. It's just where it happens when it happens that you could say is a spoiler. Well, it isn't a spoiler. I'm rambling.
Yeah, that's.
Prove that he has character development. Actually, the fact of the matter is he has no character development, and that's actually a irrefutable fact. He has literally
Irrefutable. It's the totality of it all. You could say he most likely, or he may, or it's not likely, but he does. As far. Well, okay, I'm not gonna. Point is, you could say this, but the totality is where it becomes an issue, especially when you're wrong.
no character development because he has
Um,
no internal.
Oh yeah, sorry.
said, Ace says hi. I'm not gonna say from where because of spoilers, but yeah, no, the situation with Ace, definite character development that we're still seeing now. If you know, you know.
I mean, there's also that specific island where with the bears.
I was
I mean,
just listing the obvious one, but yeah, like that's just a glaring one that comes to mind for me.
A irrefutable fact. He has literally no character development because he has no internal monologue. And obviously, if you don't have internal monologue, therefore that means you don't have character development in general. So that's the case with that. And also another, downside about Luffy not having internal monologue is
Yeah, as you can tell, his audio gets pretty wonky. One audio in one ear, and then some shifts in quality slash some weird effects. So expect that.
It tells you basically, we know that in general, having internal monologue tells you way more about a character than not having internal monologue. Because
Ooh, technically true, but technically you could overdo it on the monologue, which would degrade the character and story. So monologuing itself can pose an issue, which he doesn't bring up since I watched a little bit of this. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know,
monologuing is super hard to do now.
Maybe not super hard, but if you're gonna have them being you know, a thinky type character, or talk to themselves, they have to be, well, there has to be a fine balance in which actions and words can congregate.
because you know characters, you can truly see how a character is, or how a character feels based on their internal monologue. Because you know that's how you can tell if a character is lying or not, or if they're saying what they really mean. Because
When has Luffy? All right, if that's true, then wouldn't that just mean Luffy's always been saying the truth? Also, there's more ways to show if a character is lying than just someone saying that they are.
Luffy is definitely a truthful person. Luffy is fairly blunt and will just say what he comes to his mind and what he actually thinks. So yeah, it's definitely the case. Also, what about for characters who never get in and who we never actually see there in the dialogue? Do they never get character development now because of it?
Actually, this is pretty good, if not perfect example, since Luffy practically cannot tell a lie, and Usopp being the king of all liars, and they have distinctly expressive. How do I word this? Distinctly expressive moments that show their truthfulness slash lying without people having, without them having to say that they're telling the truth or lying. So they another big reason to say that they don't need a monologue or line of dialogue to specifically say if they're telling the truth or not. And then in the ALS flashback came to mind where Luffy tried to lie, which he technically should have saw. That's a different thing.
that I'm gonna give you a couple quick examples. One of them being Light Yagami from Death Note.
Well, all right.
Light and Luffy aren't the same sort of characters. It's really important that we know what Light is thinking all the time because he thinks and plans about everything. Luffy is big punch, big eat, and I want adventures. Luffy doesn't need this sort of character monologuing.
Getting the character wrong, frame one. You love to see it happen. I should really not use the term frame one because, well, I hope you can understand what I
Ima-
mean by frame one.
yeah, I get what you mean, but imagine if someone said Light is the worst character of all time because Light doesn't punch people and eat lots of food. This is exactly what this guy is doing. He's taking the character at their most basic and saying it's wrong because that's how the character is. Oh, this is
But he
bad.
doesn't have dialogue. Luffy never once told to himself, should I really be doing this? It's not like that's something Luffy wouldn't do. It's not like his character doesn't permit some action that the definition of character development would. He just doesn't get Luffy, man.
Yeah, Luffy
Yeah,
mostly
Luffy's
just
a
doesn't care
knucklehead,
about those things.
stupid. Luffy's a knucklehead, but he's not stupid.
He might be stupid, but he definitely is creative, so it's
He
some
just thinks
argument.
on his feet. He's not full
When
blown forward. is what I'm getting at.
You mean retarded?
Didn't know if we could say it, but yeah, he's not mentally deficient is what I'm getting at. He might be idiotic, but he can think on his feet, he's creative, he's clever. Like I said,
Yeah,
he's
that's
smart in his own.
smart in his own way. I guess that's the best way you could say it. You're saying something, writer?
For like a big example of like Luffy's, we don't need Luffy's thought process. When Luffy is going to be executed by Buggy in Logtown, was it? When Luffy's about to
Logtown.
be executed, Logtown. I was thinking of Paper Mario. When Luffy is about to be executed by Buggy in Logtown, Luffy doesn't need an inner dialogue. Luffy just accepts she's about to be executed and that's it. We don't need his thoughts being like, oh, I wonder what was going to happen. It's like, no, that's it. It is what it is. He doesn't need an inner dialogue. He is just
Sanji,
what he is.
Zoro, Nami, Usopp. Sorry, but I'm dead. Ah, what a great scene. I think that might be not the first, but the one of the biggest before they entered the Grand Line moments that really encapsulate my affection to One Piece. That scene is so
And
good.
and
I'm just gushing over a moment. Give me a moment. Alright, it's gone now. You can continue the video, me.
One time, sometimes he might be saying something in order to trick somebody, but you can tell what he truly, how he truly feels or what he truly means by his internal monologue.
But did Luffy ever do something like that? No. Continue the story, me.
That's how you can tell if a character is lying or not. Sakura, from Naruto, she's even a way better character than Luffy because she has internal monologue, and thus you can see that she actually has character development because you can see her thought process changing over time, and you can also see.
I won't say anything because I haven't seen Naruto, but anyone want to refute that?
no, kind of blunt. Like Luffy, he's a little more intelligent, but he doesn't always think. He's kind of similar.
Oh, apart from it being a blanket statement where you're comparing two characters that aren't similar, anyone else have anything to say on this comparison?
It's
I said,
it's more it's more just saying thought process good and not. He could put up any character with a thought process that is better. Sakura is not a better character than Luffy by miles.
oh, Sakura, not Naruto. My bad.
Yeah, he was comparing Sakura to Naruto because Sakura has a thought process and also, I don't know why he's highlighted these words. These aren't her thought processes. These are words that she's saying. He's saying Luffy bad because Luffy doesn't have internal dialogue and he voices it. This is not internal dialogue. This is external dialogue. This is not thought processes. Why is he? He's defeated his own point with his own example.
I mean, you could say this just thinking out loud. Also,
Which is
on
what
that,
Luffy does.
since he actually brought up manga panels, no, it's called anime graded, so I still can't say that. So forget that sentence. You were saying, writer?
I'm just probably going to thank it again, so I've said enough for this point, so we can move on until he says the next dumb thing.
I'm not sure how much we can actually tangent on, but is this a mark of a better? Is this a mark of a better? Is this better or worse that we're having tangents?
I
Cause
feel it. I feel it's good to have the discussion, to have the talk. It's not really a tangent because we are talking about the matter. We're actually using examples to back up a point. It's just that I'm a fairly rambly talks a lot person, and I don't really stop when. Yeah, I talk a lot. And last time, as an example of me not talking a lot, it was a fairly quiet video, and I'm trying to make up for that last time, but it is what it is.
Plus, it just makes it feel more natural.
Plus, it's better than you. Plus, it's better than you just going. Here's what I think, and then moving on.
Definitely.
Gavin can't B-list. He's away from home. I could say that's a poor excuse. You just need Discord. Get you one, Gavin. Why do I say get you one? I don't really like Borderlands.
See like how she's truly feeling throughout the series. Like when she, basically told Sasuke that she wanted to join his team, but you could tell her internal monologue she was really trying to bring herself to kill Sasuke. She really had no intention of joining his team, but she was
Now this is an inner monologue. You should have really highlighted those. Whatever.
trying to bring herself to kill him, even though she couldn't really kill him because she still had feelings for him and stuff like that. She couldn't bring herself to kill him, but she definitely didn't have any intentions of leaving the Hidden Leaf Village and joining Sasuke. So that's the case with that. Luffy is literally one of the worst characters in all of fiction, and that's actually factual. That's an irrefutable fact.
Okay.
Factual.
Yeah. Okay, we technically have seen what he has watched, but of all fiction, I'm pretty sure he's just saying, the inner monologue things, but
He's being really hyperbolic, but his only real example is Luffy has no inner monologue, therefore he is the worst character in all of fiction. This is such a bad point. Why is
this
he
is
like this?
this is another level of bad, not the next level, a separate level. Like we have the top level, and he's just next to it. Next to the
This
top
is
level.
to go even further beyond.
People saying 5 levels of bad.
This background character doesn't have inner dialogue. Does that make them a bad character?
Not only a bad character, the worst character in all of fiction.
In all of
Shut up.
fiction. Just the entirety of written human character.
Luffy is worse than any character from the Leprechaun films.
Don't even.
My hair is naughty.
He has no character development.
Luffy is worse than a lot of the My Hero characters.
Okay. Nothing is worse than some of my hero characters.
But no internal monologues, though.
Luffy is worse than General Snoke, and his entire character is some sort of monologue. So wouldn't that technically make Snoke at least a good character?
Hey, he is the greatest character of all existence.
But he didn't change. He just has a lot of monologuing. Therefore, he's just a good character.
He is a great character.
Potato, potato.
Characters in all of fiction, and that's actually factual. That's an irrefutable fact that he has no character development, and thus he is one of the worst characters in all of fiction. Now, the other characters in One Piece, the Straw Hat Pirates, some of them are decent, like Nico Robin and Usopp. They and maybe Frankie as well. They do have slight amounts of character development.
I want to say something, but yeah, I'm just being a little derogatory if I say that.
But other than that, most One Piece characters really have no character development, and they tend to all be pretty bad characters that stay the same throughout the entire series. And Zoro and Nami and most of the other Straw Hats, they are pretty much exactly the same. Nami might have slight amounts of character development, and since they, unlike Luffy,
So I guess Arlong Park didn't happen, huh? Well, he did say slight, so
Yeah,
it could be just
no, I
referring
mean,
to it, but
Yeah,
Oh,
but they're all the
with
same.
Robin, she had a lot of character development.
I say Robin literally went from wanting to die to live her life with the shock.
that's why he
She had
said
an
that.
insane
That's why he said that characters like Usopp and Robin and technically Frankie have character development, so they're decent.
no, I mean, able to trust people.
What is this video?
It's bad, is what it is.
Also, I don't think this guy is using some sort of script. Well, apart from the stuttering, uh, well, you can sense that he's making some of these points off the fly, but that's not really degrading the quality of this video. I'm just trying to point out something.
If he has
Well,
a
you see, you see, is the words you'll hear him say a lot. It definitely makes it feel that this is not a scripted video. So I agree with you there.
if there is a script, they need to fire whoever wrote this.
But you see, he wrote it himself. So you're saying he should fire himself from his own channel?
He should get off the platform, exactly.
Bruh. Alright. Since he made the script, I guess that's fair.
They don't have internal monologue. I mean, they do have internal monologue, unlike Luffy. So they might have slight amounts of character development, but for the most part, they stay the same throughout the entirety of the series. Even though, personally, I like Zoro and Nami. Those are my top two favorite One Piece characters. It's pretty much factual that they remain the same throughout the majority of the series with only slight amounts of character development. And that's not enough. When you have a bad main character who has no character development,
Oh, so small amounts of character development is not good enough then? So they can have character development, but just enough character development? Damn, alright.
Factually say the same.
What happened for Zoro then?
Because as you know, Zoro never thought of himself too highly, got humbled by anyone who was stronger than him, and thought, I need to get stronger for the sake of my dream. Never happened.
Zoro also definitely didn't bow his head down and go, I'm weak, please train me.
He technically should have seen that part of the series, but like writer said,
having a couple of characters who have maybe slight amounts of character development here and there is not enough because your main character has no character development, and then on top of that, the rest of the characters in the series aren't really, it's not like they have amazing character development as well. So when it comes to character development, which is pretty much the most important thing about any fictional story,
now amazing doesn't have to mean a lot. I'm not sure if he's aware of that, but he's equating a lot of well, enough or a lot. Since he didn't even specify, he just said they have small amounts of character development, which is apparently bad. So it's a
With
it's a box in a
with a
box
lot.
in a box.
Like, what does he want? A jackass to
Also,
become state?
Also, he just said character development is the most important thing to a story. When previously he said characters were the most important part of the story. So he's, well, I wouldn't say he's contradicting himself. More, he's probably not thought over the fact that he's said the same thing, said the most important thing for two different aspects.
I agree
One
with
Piece
the first take that
Sorry, you can continue.
I agree with the first take that characters are the most important part.
Character development is a important part, but
No, I'm just
it's
talking to
like what's the
characters.
most important part?
Good characters
It's like
in
what's the
general.
most important? Yeah,
So
but
like
it's more the point he contradicted himself.
so like you don't need character development to be a good character because like in a lot of shonen there's adult characters who are like Yeah, I've had my thing. Now I'm teaching you guys.
What the hell has Roshi done?
Wait, yeah, I don't think. Oh wait, you should have saw it, but when he tiered the anime, he had Dragon Ball as the goated. I'm not 100% know what goated mean, but it's higher than S tier, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be something very excellent. And Goku
The
doesn't
greatest
have
of all.
monologue per se.
GOAT means greatest of all time.
Oh, so I didn't know what it mean. I just forgot. Okay then.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
at
brain
any
gets weird.
at any rate, Goku doesn't have any monologue, and yet he likes it. So what the hell?
Luffy is literally
Wait,
based
no, no,
off
never
of Goku.
mind. He has monologue, but he doesn't have character development. He has small amounts of monologuing and practically no character development.
Yeah, Luffy's literally based off of Goku. It's a love letter to the character.
I'm pretty sure I heard that, but I still don't accept that notion since Luffy is quality. I'm just being
I
biased.
agree.
I'm
I
being
agree.
biased. Don't listen to me. I'm being biased.
I think he's better, but that doesn't mean it didn't start out that way.
Worse than Genlock characters, meme spice? Yes. Luffy is worse than Genlock characters. Also, different notes. I'm looking at Zoro's model in this image, and his hand is pretty huge. The perspective of his hand grasping the sword that you can barely see around Luffy's arm is huge compared to Luffy's entire arm.
He is a swordsman, so maybe
You know
he's
what they
doing
say
something.
about swordsmen with big hands? Yeah.
Character development, which is pretty much the most important thing about any fictional story, One Piece is pretty much severely lacking. And if it's taking over 500 episodes to get some good character development, then that's a problem in general. But Luffy, he doesn't have any character development because he doesn't have internal monologue. So yeah, when it comes to characters, One Piece is terrible, pretty much. Like, is really bad when it comes to characters. And then let's talk about the villains as well. And the villains are One Piece villains is some of the worst villains in all of fiction.
Here we go with another totality. Uh, the characters have development, especially, well, not some of the bad guys have development. So,
So for him, Luffy is the worst character of all time, and then the second behind that are the One Piece villains. Then
uh, maybe if let's just hear what he has to say about them, and then we can judge this man's awkward opinions. Oh no! Wait a minute. He's factually the worst character, so he's factually having an ass opinion. I can literally say he has an ass opinion, and I'm completely justified in my opinion, because I'm actually
straight
correct.
facts,
I'm literally spitting facts right now. He literally has an ass
objectively,
opinion.
objective facts.
And the loop continues.
Not a loop. Not. I'm. Let me say what loop, and I'm not gonna say actually why you mean by the loop continues, since I don't want to delve into that. Tangent is over.
Yeah, yeah,
And that also
yeah, yeah.
villains are One Piece villains is some of the worst villains in all of fiction. And that also ties into their power system as well. But I'll get to that a little bit later. But well, actually, I'm gonna talk about the villains and the power system almost at the same time, really. So, because one big problem I have with One Piece that I think is just it's just very obvious that this is objectively a flaw. This is a bad
Objectively.
thing in general, and that's Blackbeard. Blackbeard is one of the major villains in One Piece,
Not
and
this.
he was introduced he was introduced pretty early on. I mean, pre time skip, and he had a flashback that told us nothing about his character. So essentially, he had a very pointless flashback because the flashback basically only said that, okay, so he stole a devil fruit. You literally didn't need a flashback for that. He could have just said, oh yeah, I stole a devil fruit from somebody on the
Pause.
uh
Yeah.
That's not really a flashback for him. That's just people talking about what Blackbeard did.
Yeah, it wasn't exactly
It's not a
his
flashback.
flash. It was about him, but it wasn't his flashback. It was
Yeah,
just
we're
more like
learning of.
giving context to Blackbeard,
Yes, he's using the wrong terms again.
which is character development. Technically isn't character development, but potential character development.
the that was on my ship. But
Whoa,
from
whoa.
somebody on the that was on my ship. But
You forgot Whitebeard's name.
it told us nothing about his character, like why he turned evil, why he stole the devil fruit, and what led him to end up turning evil. So he's basically evil for the sake of being evil, with no logical explanation for how he turned evil, and he just randomly stole the fruit one day.
Let's say it together, writer. 1, 2, 3. The story's not finished yet. You didn't say it, writer. For shame.
I didn't
What?
know what you were going to say. I was just going to go into a rant that this is really bad. We don't need him. We don't need him. You said my point. I was going to go off on a tangent.
People don't need reasons to do stuff.
Blackbeard's
Well, at
just
least
a
they don't have to
TV
say
show.
it. The say said reasons out loud.
Wants to be king of the world, basically.
One Piece is bad because I don't have the flashback for why Usopp shows his outfit.
Hey, why does Nami show her boob? I don't like that.
He might
I'm
get into
surprised
that.
he hasn't.
Well,
I'm surprised he hasn't complained about fan service yet. That's going to be a topic, isn't it? Oh no, I've jinxed it.
And why does Robin lose her tan? I have a problem with this.
we'll see.
From one of his crew members, and once he did that, he got this very very powerful devil fruit. That the devil fruit that he has this darkness power, and
Literally called the
essentially
Dark Armor.
that's another one
The
of my big
Mogai.
problems. So not only so I already explained how Blackbeard is a terrible villain, and most other One Piece villains
Oh, yeah. We already explained why he was a terrible villain. One point that didn't even make sense. It wasn't even specifically about Blackbeard. Just one thing he did.
Oh, and the worst part is he's not even being completely accurate with that explanation.
Since
Oh,
we still don't know why he got the devil fruits. It's not him being evil because evil. Well, without context. And potentially in context. It could just be that. But we still don't know why he does anything. He's just a mysterious character. Oh, he left.
I
But
mean,
even without having a backstory. Oh, sorry, you go.
okay. So, to explain the whole, hey, he killed his crewmate and stole the devil fruit. Why did he do that? Because on the ship, they're like, hey, you found it, you keep it. Blackbeard didn't find the fruit, and he's like, no, fuck that, I want it. So he kills a dude. Do we get
The
that
simple
explanation?
point is that.
No, we don't.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm done. You go.
Okay, the simple point is Blackbeard wants to be Pirate King. For whatever reason, we don't know, but he wants power. So he's just going to do whatever he can to get all the power he wants. That's simple. That's base. Even if that's literally all we get, that's all we need thus far for why he is what he is. He's just power hungry and wants power. I'm fine with that as an explanation.
Especially with the other stuff we get. His mysterious body, Zoro proclaimed. his similar but just different enough personality to Luffy, him being a D, and you know the mystery behind that. There's other stuff that potentially you could be hyped about for Blackbeard. So it's just one instance that isn't really specifically about Blackbeard that makes him a very bad character. The totality of it all.
Blackbeard is a terrible villain, and most other One Piece villains pre-time skip are terrible villains in general. Just in general, most One Piece villains are terrible. Like, Buggy the Clown, he's one of the early on villains. He was pretty terrible. All of the villains, pretty
That
much at the
just
start of One Piece, when Luffy's gathering his crew together and stuff like that, all of those villains are pretty terrible. That the
so pretty much all the pre-time skip, or just the East Blue saga, the totality of it all.
It doesn't matter. They're terrible. No explanation needed.
Freaking calling Hannibal terrible. You can lick my Hanya nuts.
his crew together and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
he's also calling Magellan terrible, and Magellan is
He's
top five
tight.
or top three One Piece villains.
Oh,
No, maybe top five. There are some contenders.
he's also calling the admirals bad.
I mean, if we're going by.
Oh.
Okay, maybe we shouldn't call them villains, but antagonist Luffy had to fight. If we're going by every villain, I might not. I might say Magellan is in my top 5. Definitely top 10. I do like Magellan and Hannibal. That's why I changed my name. Yes, my name is changed. I'm Leo Lester. So yeah, Hannibal good. This opinion is, well, if we say objectively, I can objectively say this opinion is ass.
His crew together and stuff like that. All of those villains are pretty terrible. That the overweight woman that Luffy fought in the first episode, she was terrible. The guy with the claws from the
How can you even call her terrible? She didn't really do anything to be a good or bad, per se. So, whatever.
I mean, good. You could say she's establishing what pirate captains are like. It's good for demonstrating why Kobe wants to leave there, and it shows that even though Luffy's a pirate, he's generally a good person.
But nah, they're just bad.
Usopp arc when they got Usopp, when they recruited Usopp to be a part of the Straw Hats, he was terrible. Like most of the villains in One Piece are terrible.
Kuro? Well, I mean, he won't explain it, but really, Kuro is terrible. Ah, the freaking. Well, you know what I mean. The totality of it all.
Eneru is terrible, apparently. Crocodile is terrible, apparently.
Genetsu is
Seeking
terrible.
9 are terrible, apparently. Like,
Just most of them,
I
if not
don't
all of
know
them, is
what's his
terrible.
with his mindset.
I mean,
All of them.
I'm just hoping he explains it, which he might not, considering the entire 9 minutes and 46 seconds of this video.
Yeah, just in general, most villains in One Piece are terrible. But another thing is the fruit that
Never mind.
another one of my big problems with One Piece, and I think this is like again, this is actually objectively a flaw. This is a big problem, and that's the whole power system and the fact that literally all you need to do is eat a fruit to get a power. There's no need to train in the series.
That's the laws of the world. It's not a good or bad thing.
Also, has he forgotten about literally all the sword users?
Has he literally forgot Luffy versus Crocodile?
Has he forgotten that Luffy has to actually train and come up with clever ideas to actually use all the abilities he has? Did this guy watch? No, no, no. He definitely watched One Piece, but it was more just a meme point. Then did he actually watch it? He probably did. Maybe while doing other things in the background. It doesn't seem to have
It's
attained much.
fair to assume that he didn't watch One Piece. It's very fair. He didn't explain jack to shits and everything in between.
Do you think he read a wiki article on it?
Ah, he said Blackbeard, and unless he heard something about Blackbeard being hype shit and look at the wiki for him specifically, then yes, there's a good chance that he just read the wiki.
Or just watch clips like Blackbeard, Marineford. Yeah, he's got his dark powers and he has a flashback. He doesn't even mention when Blackbeard first shows up. He just says Blackbeard showed up like he shows up at a very vague point. But no, it's clear when he shows up.
You didn't even say Jaya or
Yeah, and
Skypea or the Sky Island or
he
something.
didn't even say the arc in which Usopp and Kuro happens. He doesn't even mention it all along. He doesn't mention.
Oh, he said Usopp arc, which I guess is fair since this guy doesn't like One Piece, and I don't expect people that don't like something to remember details.
I don't
Fair
think
enough.
he's even mentioned Sanji or Chopper yet.
Oh, he said
Yes,
Sanji had no character development. That's it. Even though I'm pretty sure Chopper did have like the most flat character development in his, you know, entire arc. Technically, he had. Technically, Chopper has the most character developments. Because, the shutout. Well, reindeer turn human. So there's that big deal. And then him being shut. Oh, even before then, he was shunned because of his blue nose. And then the human fruit, which make him more of a shun. And then try to communicate with humans, becoming a depressing cycle. And then Hero Luke, oh Hero Luke, you funny, gorgeous man, try to put him under his wing, grows to accept humans more, and then his death, and then Wapple with the Ishi 20, and then Dalton, and then Kureha, and then the Straw Hats, and then P, and then yeah, I guess Chopper did have the most character development out of all the crew. Changed in character, not not this guy's definition of character development. Changes in his character, sometimes even his philosophy. And that was a tangent.
The whole power system, and the fact that literally all you need to do is eat a fruit to get a power. There's no need to train in the series really at all. Like for example, in Naruto,
Uh, which is wrong since you see, you know, we already said this, but Luffy coming up attacks for specific villains, uh, gears.
No reason to train at all. Completely ignored Kobe.
Uh,
also he's going to bring up. I slightly heard it. I think he's going to bring up Naruto, which is wrong since Naruto is super heavily drawn on by the back of the. He does train, but he is super heavily helped up by having the nine-tailed fox.
which is
Without it,
potentially
early Naruto would be nothing.
which is potentially worse since Naruto is about that work ethic, yet he just gets carried by some dog inside of him.
And
Oh,
he's also carried.
oh,
Sorry.
we can't forget about the clone training arc, which is only possible thanks to the aforementioned fox in his belly.
Also we have to factor in all of Naruto's benefits, like both of his family's genetic lines being super powerful.
And him conveniently being trained by all the best ninjas.
Like when his one of the best teachers being his godfather actually showing up. God, Jiraiya sucks.
No, no, Naruto, it's fine. I was just on a mission for 10 years. Here's a
Couldn't
card.
Jiraiya send a clone? Like, not just a simple shadow clone just to keep an eye out? Is that. Do normal shadow clones just not exist?
Uh, they do exist. All right. Okay. I'm just going this off information that I've heard. I haven't seen it, of course. I said this, but as far as
Oh,
I can, wait, they
planet.
don't.
So basically you can make clones, but they just look like you, they can't do shit. But then if you have big chakra reserves, eight i.e. being Naruto, you can make them actually punch people, but they still have zero defense whatsoever.
Oh, because I heard something about the. Wait, this is a presumption. Never mind.
Yeah, but anyway, the fact that he still didn't send any letters or anything is just garbage.
Not everybody can just become a ninja. You actually need to train and
Oh, well.
in Naruto, not everybody can just become a ninja. You actually need to train and control your chakra and learn how to control your chakra and train and get and gain skills and experience in order to become a ninja. You actually need to train in order to that's the whole point of the academy. You need to train in order to become a ninja.
Didn't Naruto use a shadow clone to skip out of his son's birthday? Yes, that did happen. I don't really have a connection, but that sounds pretty horrible from a father's perspective. Like, I don't
No, but
know.
no, but you guys, I got work to do. It's so busy. Ugh. Yeah, but back to him talking about how not everyone can be a ninja.
But people train their devil fruits in hockey, yeah. He's not on hockey yet, but people did train devil fruits. If not just implied training from, Luffy as an entire character. He could have his clone do the work or just have Shika do the work. He is more suited for paperwork and such. Yeah, if you say so.
Ninja in the first place. Not any random character in Naruto can just become a ninja. Every character in Naruto has chakra, but they all need to train and learn how to control their chakra in order to be powerful.
So technically anyone can be a ninja? It's not about the ability, it's about the effort. And on that,
Hey,
it's a well, it's not
let's
also it's
talk
not
about
comparable.
E, the guy who can't do two types of jitsu.
I
Also
have to read. I don't want to. You go ahead.
also training in ninjutsu and devil fruits are not similar enough to compare.
I was going to say, I don't want to reread it, but I'll probably just skim away to check. I can't remember the explanation for why Rock Lee can't actually do the other forms of jutsu. Like, is he just. Does he not have the ability to summon forth chakra? Like, can he. Does he. Is he not practicing correctly? Like, I. There's never any. There's
He's
never
just
any other
so
character who just
fed up.
can't do it. Hmm?
Say something, King?
Oh,
Oh, I said he's just built different. Stop thinking about it.
Damn, you right.
yeah, we gotta stop thinking about the fact that Lee has a clan, despite the fact he's the only one in that clan.
Hey, now, Lee has a son. Who's, who's the mother? Stop thinking about it.
Yeah, you don't think about mothers in One Piece, so why think about mothers in Naruto? They're similar enough, right? I mean, unless you do, in which case you're factually wrong. Freaking the totality of it
in
all.
order to, get stronger and stuff like that. In One Piece's case, literally all you have to do is eat a fruit to get power. And Blackbeard is a prime example of that. We never seen him train throughout the series. He has he as far as putting in effort, he's never trained throughout the series that we've seen. And he literally all he had to do in order to be one of the most powerful characters in the series, all he had to do was eat an overpowered devil fruit.
He's not the most overpowered. It might have been said, but the best I can think of is that he specifically said he can counter any devil fruits with the dark fruit.
He
Being
can.
Blackbeard. Oh, sorry, you go ahead.
Okay, so like the deal with his devil fruit is that he can like nullify most of their shit, but it still fucking hurts.
He's not gonna bring up the actual side effects. He didn't bring up any points except for that one. So
Uh,
just wait till he
yeah,
actually.
and him going on about how Blackbeard is shown training and yada yada. He still managed to be a part of Whitebeard's crew, which means he's tough enough to stick with them.
But he didn't bring up Whitebeard or anything like that, so that's irrelevant.
So it is.
And I feel on the thing of Blackbeard cheat, cheating his way to power by getting a overpowered devil fruit, I feel that's the point of him. He didn't train for his power. He took the guy who originally took it in the first place. Blackbeard's cheating his way to the top. He's not worked hard for it.
Which is the similarities and differences that Luffy and Blackbeard have. Just like the real life Blackbeard. They have very similar themes. What the hell are you talking about, Nux? How does the real Blackbeard have similar themes to the one in One Piece? That still gets to me.
Remember how Wano was supposed to be like the Napoleon era?
No, I haven't been in history class for over like 6 years. Or,
It
well,
was from the Nox
4 years,
video.
but whatever. I know what you meant. I was in that video. I saw it when it was written. Hello, Gala.
Hello.
Just watching this guy attempting to talk about One Piece. Oh wait, now that I look about it, the mask of Mary is extremely small. You could say it's perspective, but you can easily see Luffy touching Mary's horn. So it's just a small mask. Masked the front of the ship.
The more we look at this image, the worse it gets.
Literally, that's all he had to do. If Nami would have ate that fruit, she would have been, as strong as a Yonko. Yonko.
That's not why he's a Yonko, and that's a different thing you brought up. It's a wow, whatever.
Those are like the top four. I mean, those is for Yonko and One Piece. Those are basically the most powerful characters in the series. And literally, if anybody else ate that devil fruit, they would have been a Yonko, just like Blackbeard. So,
Removing a
it's
lot of
pretty ridiculous that all you have
context.
to do is eat a fruit to get power. And depending on what fruit you eat, if you ate a overpowered fruit, that will instantly make you more powerful than pretty much any other character in the series, or not any other character, but most characters in the series. So yeah, that's the case with that. The power system is
Pause.
complete garbage.
Yeah,
Yeah, so that is not true at all. Because
it's half true. It's half true.
I mean, just if you ate a fruit that makes you stronger than yada yada. That's that's not entirely true because like someone could just be really lazy and trip up. Also, like something really simple could happen to them and their big old strong devil fruit can't do anything, like say falling into the ocean.
Well, he didn't really say what devil fruits, but well, if we get something like the ice fruit, then I'm just saying he's half correct, but he's missing a detail on hockey and context. So so I'm just saying he's half right, but he's not having the full He's uh, he's trying to make a point, but he's just lacking context.
Al- Also, he's equating being Yonko to being one of the most powerful characters, which they are the most powerful characters, but being Yonko, it's just a title, it's not a status of power.
It technically is, but you're it's more of the balance and power, as Sengoku said. Slash Fujitora is more of a balance of power. I wouldn't exactly call Blackbeard strong, even with the devil fruits, but I'm going off what we've seen. So they have to be somewhat strong to be a Yonko, potentially the strongest. And I'm not referring to their pirate fleets. I don't know. I don't know. Kizaru was able to become able. Kizaru was suggesting that he could just dip over to Wano and was like, "I'm gonna handle that, boss." And so either that speaks to his character, his devil fruit, or both is an interesting detail. Devil fruits are OP, but that's why hockey was introduced, and some devil fruits are just plain ass for their subjectivity and their usefulness, is what I meant to say.
Literally, there's no incentive to train. All you have to do is find a random fruit and eat it. And if you get lucky and you eat a powerful fruit, that'll make you more powerful than most of the characters in the series. So yeah, overall power system is absolute garbage. Even hockey and stuff. Hockey, only a
Well,
couple
there we go.
characters have hockey. Like it's a very rare thing in One Piece to have hockey. But it's not like every character has hockey in One Piece. But point being, all you have to do is eat a powerful devil fruit, and you know that instantly. If you eat one of the most powerful fruits in One Piece, that'll probably make you easily top tier, probably Yonko levels instantly just by eating one of the most powerful fruits. But yeah, there's no incentive to train, and the
It takes a little bit more than just having a devil fruit to be a Yonko. Okay, I think he's doing off. Remember in the Nux video slash the Joy Boy video where people use Yonko level, Admiral level, Warlord level as a scaling of power? I'm pretty sure that's what he's doing right now.
Oh
Because he's
god,
giving
it
no
is what he's doing.
context into what and context and okay, he gave some context on what it means to be a uh, Yonko, but that's not the full context. So
So I'm just gonna bring this up. So Doflamingo, his power is string. If you're an idiot, string will do nothing for you.
well, since he's able to shoot string out of his fingertips, they could just perceive it as some sort of uh, mid-level, low mid-level type devil fruits, since the actual string is extremely sturdy. So it could just make like a very good projectile. or some sort of whip. Yeah, a projectile or some sort of whip, if they even, recognize to shoot the string out of the fingers. Also, I just realized he hasn't talked about awakening devil fruits. So, nuts to that.
Which he should have gotten to if he's seen past into Fishman Island, because the first time they show up is Impo down.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, Bon Clay did say something about awaken and devil fruits. We didn't really get much
Yeah,
context into
because
that,
they're
but
yeah, not much actually on them other than they exist.
how would Rob Lucci's awakening look like? That's interesting. Also,
We need to see more of them because
we don't really see minotaurs, the koalas, the zebras, so and so's human form, so we couldn't really, cross reference, but it's interesting.
Hmm.
my assumption based off what we see is that the awakened form turns you into sort of like a what they are there and they don't undo it. That's my guess, but again we don't know anything on it past that. Like an awakened paramecia lets you turn things into that, which ah, oh, I wonder what an awakened Logio type would do. But like we still don't know enough to fully say.
Are the admirals awakened? Maybe not Fujitora, but yeah, okay, that's just a thought.
Power system is absolutely garbage. The villains are garbage for the most part, and the character development in One Piece is basically non-existent. Luffy has no character development, and the other character, most characters in One Piece really have no character development. And if they do, they have slight amounts of it. And Luffy, the main character, the most important character in the series, he has no character development. So, so those are some. So I already talked about those things. Let's move on now
We're almost halfway there. This is going to be an interesting video.
to the adventure aspect of the story. And essentially, the story is supposed to be about characters on a journey to achieve their goals. And the Straw Hats, they all have they all have their goals that they want to achieve. The problem is, they're not really that focused on them. They're pretty much just lollygagging around, just going from island to island, doing pretty much the exact same thing. They're not, really that focused on finding or achieving their goals for the most part. They're just there for a journey, and that's the case with Luffy. I mean, well, I guess you can say that they're kind of fulfilling their goals while they're on their journey, but it's not like they're specifically gathering clues and stuff like that to find what they're looking for. Is they're just randomly going to island to island, and pretty much.
How does one look for the strongest swordsman? How does one look for in being the First off, this sentence is incorrect. Second off, this sentence is retarded. Third off, two characters are in search of something. And fourth off, no. The totality of it all. Fifth thing.
Like for them to have fully fulfilled their dreams, they need to have got to the finish. Nobody wants to map everything, so her dream only ends when it gets to the end. Usopp wants to become a brave warrior sea, which once you've cleared all the Grand Line, you can do that.
Yeah, if you clear the Grand
Zoro
Line,
just
you're already
needs to,
something else.
Zoro just needs to defeat Mihawk. He doesn't actually have to go all the way through the journey to actually complete his goal. All Blue could be anywhere, or may not even exist. Sanji might not actually fulfill that. Chopper just needs to become a great doctor. That doesn't have anything to do with traveling the islands. We don't need. This is the Drix point. This is why aren't we seeing the army drawn maps? We don't need to see that. As long as the story is progressing, they're doing what they're doing. They're traveling the most dangerous sea and succeeding. That's pretty big on itself.
I mean, Frankie's basically achieved his dream already.
I mean, the sun could just snap in two at any moment, and his dream is practically shattered.
Yeah, but still.
Just based off of look, trying to look their island to island, and pretty much just based off of look, trying to look their way into finding their goals, which is pretty, it's pretty much not, they're pretty much, it's not really a good way of going about finding their goals. They're just trying to look their way in finding them, and pretty much enjoying the journey on their way, right? Because it's not like they're intentionally trying to go to certain places because they heard about or because they found a clue that could lead them to a certain place that could lead them to potentially finding their goals easier. And I know Luffy. The case with him is he likes his adventure and he doesn't like he likes to go on an adventure and he doesn't want his journey spoiled for him. But what about the other characters? The other characters who also have goals. It's not like they're trying to find the clues to find the goals or whatever.
Robin is the only other character, and even she didn't want to know. So, argument over. And the All Blue is a theoretical place. It's a place that may or may not exist.
Luffy is the captain. His goal is the main priority.
That too.
For the most part, they don't. It's not really a big focus on that. For the most part, they're just going from island to island, doing pretty much the same thing. And that's my next biggest problem with One Piece, which is the repetition. Most arcs in One Piece, most story arcs in One Piece play out the exact same. If you want to talk about the start of the series, it was mainly just Luffy going to different islands, putting his crew together. That was very repetitive. That within and of itself was very very repetitive. But then once he puts together his core crew for the most part, and they actually go onto the Grand Line. Once they finally get onto the Grand Line, One Piece is like super repetitive to the point where each arc they're pretty much doing the same thing. Alabasta, you know,
Ah, yes. Remember the princess character in Ennie's lobby where Luffy had to liberate the entirety of Marineford to help her save her country of third place.
Remember the giants in Whiskey Peak? Remember the Sky Islands of Impel Down? Remember
Remember
the Amazons?
remember Thriller Bark? Everyone's favorite snowy island.
They didn't even want to go into Thriller Bark. They were literally eaten. Well, okay. Not literally eaten, but practically the boat consumed them. The boat ate the Straw Hats. Well, they were abducted into Thriller Bark, which isn't an island. It's a giant ass ship.
Remember the time where everyone almost died on Thriller Bark? You know, that thing that happens in every One Piece arc, where everyone dies?
It's kind of 50-50. They technically, definitely in the Grand Line, they had a lot more close calls than in the East Blue.
Remember
Remember
when
when
Say,
Luffy
Luffy got
failed to
struck by
complete his mission?
lightning?
we're kind of going on
That
a
did
tangent.
actually happen twice. Yeah, we're just making memes.
The totality of it all. Oh, I'm repeating myself. This guy is not very good.
We're only repeating ourselves because he's repeating himself. He keeps making the same points. If he had any actual points, we'd be able to talk about more things.
doing the same thing. Alabasta, you know, Alabasta, Skypiea, whatever, any arc, any island they go to, they're pretty much doing the same thing. They go to an island, they meet new friends on the island, they find out the island is being terrorized by a villain, and they split up. They, beat up the villains, and then they leave the island, and then they go to the next island and do pretty much the exact same thing. And they have a party after they finish, beating up the villains. Yeah, they have a party on the island, and then they go to the next island, and pretty much do the exact same thing. It's a very, very repetitive story structure / format. It's a very, very repetitive format, and that's pretty.
It's not just the idea; it's the execution, my guy. I thought you were on Naruto. Well, he's a Sasuke fan, so take with you what that means. Guy from the comments. There's potential repetition in any story. How's he a Dragon Ball fan? Doesn't matter.
No,
No, it
no. You
matters a
see,
lot. But
this. You see, guys. This arc where Naruto chases Sasuke is very different from this other arc where Naruto chases Sasuke.
is he trying to hate One Piece? That's a potential thing. He might actually be trying to hate on One Piece.
Pretty much 90% of One Piece. The only exceptions to that is a couple of arcs. One of the arcs being the Impel Down arc, which is one of the worst arcs in One Piece in general.
It has Hannibal and Magellan and Bon Clay in it. Okay, I was trying to make an act, but that sounds so cringy. But they do
Bon-
have Hannibal and
Bonkly.
Magellan in there, which were pretty solid characters.
It has Buggy's rise to power.
Bon Clay's sacrifice is a top tier moment of One Piece. It is fantastic. It is a moment I'd be like, why is One Piece good? This is a good moment of One Piece. Freaking this.
Perhaps not this. Perhaps not this, since it's a little more context and Bon Clay's character would elevate it to another level. But yeah, I see. Now that I think about it, I couldn't really say one instance that encapsulates One Piece, except maybe
I, I wouldn't say it encapsulated. I would say it's just a great moment. That's just like this is one. This the build up of this is one of the reasons why I would say One Piece is a great series worth your time.
Yeah, I'm kind of going off of if I had to show someone who knows nothing of One Piece a video that says a lot, the most about One Piece, I wouldn't say Bonkley, so on and so on. But all right, yeah, all right.
If we're doing that, I guess we do the walk to our long part. That's a classic.
No. If, Arlong Park might have the most expressive One Piece is whatever the hell I said before, and it's not the walk. It's when Luffy's talking to Arlong about his usefulness. It's like, I can't cook, I can't navigate, I'm not a swordsman, and I can't lie. Hey,
Oi.
a serious moment with that little bit of humor with Usopp. Uh, and this overall simplicity, but knowledgeable simplicity that uh, Luffy, well, I wouldn't say he does it all the time, but he's pretty simple, but he knows why and when to ask for people help. He knows his limits and he knows his strengths. And then Usopp saying, "Hey, oi."
Yeah, that is a top tier moment. That is.
But that's just off the top of my head. Since comedy is a big part of One Piece, and the drama, comedy, drama, adventure, action. Not in that list, but that's pretty much One Piece: comedy, adventure, action, drama. A whole lot of drama. Perhaps you can put mystery in there. I'm on another tangent, aren't I? I'm just playing the video.
So one of the only exceptions to the rules is a terrible arc in general. So even that's not a good thing. But yeah, Impel Down, a terrible arc, very slow paced, very just a bad arc in general. But also, so Impel Down, Marine 4, and yeah, Impel Down, Marine 4. Maybe you could say Amazon Lily, and then
Save Thriller
the
Bark.
archipelago arc where they all got split
Oh,
up.
I guess
You
that's
know, they
fair.
all got split up. So yeah, I guess those are like what? Those are like 4 arcs, and those are pretty much the only pre-time skip. Those are pretty much the only unique arcs in One Piece. And then Fish.
I don't know what he's basing his off of, because even premise-wise, uh, even premise-wise, those arcs are even similar into those arcs are similar into themselves, because they technically follow some sort of structure. Luffy, the crew, or just Luffy per se, with most of them, were forced into an island, which is not true for Sabaody, since it's not an island, and Impel Down and Slash, they also had to go to. Oh, actually, they had to go to Emma. Not They had to go to. I forgot the name. Not Impel Down. Sabaody. They had to go to Sabaody since they need to go to the Red Line. So, apart from them being actual islands, they are pretty similar in nature if we're going by simply why they went to the island. Yeah, I know how to formulate a sentence. This guy's not very good. Please help me.
Those are pretty much the only pre-time skip. Those are pretty much the only unique arcs in One Piece. And then Fishman Island arc, they're going back to doing the same repetitive thing. So basically, 90% of One Piece, they're following the same story structure. Terrible. Now, moving on to the emotion in One Piece. Now, One Piece does have some
Emotion,
flashbacks. I can see how some people could find some of the flashbacks sad and stuff like that. They do have some pretty good flashbacks, some sad flashbacks, and yeah, so it's pretty good when it comes to that. And obviously, the characters have fun. The comedy in the series, the comedy is not really good, but that's more of a subjective point. Everything else I talked about in this video was pretty much objectively true. The comedy thing, that's more of a subjective thing. Me personally, I don't find really anything. I don't really find anything in the story that funny, to be honest. There might be some funny moments here and there, but honestly, the comedy is very, very bad to me, and very, very childish for the most part. Now,
I wonder why childish. Osho, you're a Naruto fan? I'm just apples to slightly shaded hue of apples. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm saying the stuff that he most likely laughed to the stuff that he most likely laughed to in Naruto. Apples to a slightly different shade of apples. I'm just gonna compare it there since I, haven't seen Naruto.
Yeah, Naruto has some pretty childish humor, so I don't get his comparison either. Or lack thereof.
honestly, the comedy is very, very bad to me, and very, very childish for the most part.
Also, you said it was subjective. I guess he's not ignorant, but this entire video is pretty ignorant. I don't know what to say about that. He knows the line where comedy is subjective, yet saying Luffy is objectively a bad character. I mean, at the very least, he gave a definition. Wait a minute, he said. Oh, he said it! He said everything he previously said is objectively correct. So I can say he is objectively wrong of the arcs being the same and the bad guys, the antagonists, being bad. I can finally say that now.
Straight facts.
Whatever.
There, but honestly, the comedy is very, very bad to me, and very, very childish for the most part. Now, so yeah, that's when it comes to emotion, it's pretty decent in One Piece. Now, when it comes to the thing that provides the most emotion to a story and makes things makes a story better objectively, because it increases the threat level and the realism of the story, makes it feel more realistic and increases the threat level.
All right.
And actually, show the threats and the the stakes and stuff like that.
All right.
And that's characters dying. And another huge.
Well, I still don't know why he's a Naruto fan or a Dragon Ball fan or why he thinks those are goated.
Well, Dragon Ball good because they can bring characters back whenever they. Okay, no, that actually goes. Okay, yeah, I don't get it then because
If anything, it's
characters
worst.
revived in characters revive in Naruto, characters revive in One Piece. In no, not in One Piece. In
Dragon Ball. You meant to say Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, yeah. But what is even death means nothing in Dragon Ball because everyone on the planet has bit the dust at one point. From like in the Boo saga, it's like what does it even mean when Peachy and Bulma are in the afterlife? They're just complaining to each other about things. They're not even bothered by the fact they're in the afterlife. It's it means nothing in Dragon Ball. It means even less. It's probably going to be like, oh, important characters don't bite it when they need to. I don't get people who are like, we can't have stakes if characters aren't dying. You can have stakes. There are the stakes that are happening right now, and they could get worse, but they don't get worse because the characters fix it before it gets worse.
Oh, there are many, many things worse than death. So if you're going off the severity that death entitles, there are many things equally and equally and worse than death, like taxes. Nah, they're similar. Never mind.
Problem in One Piece is pretty much nobody died in One Piece in real time. The only characters that have died in the current timeline in real time in One Piece has been Ace and Whitebeard. And, that's in real time. Obviously, that's not counting flashbacks because in real time means the current time that the story is taking place in. So pretty much no characters die
You
in
can
the
say
current,
that's real
basically no
time.
characters die in the current real time.
Didn't the bandits in Luffy's... No, that's Luffy's flashback. But if you read it in story, that's how... That's not a
Technically,
flashback.
yeah. If you, well, he didn't read the mod. Did he? I have a slight. He may have actually read the manga, but I only have a small inclination of him actually reading it, so I won't say if he did or not. But yeah, in the manga, Luffy's quote unquote flashback was the first thing ever showed.
Okay,
So,
he he was saying that the only characters to die in real time are those two, even though that's very wrong because remember that time Kuro killed all his men? Like, while they were fighting him?
not not all of his men. I'm not certain,
A
but
lot.
I
Remember
mean,
that time Remember that time Axan Morgan hits that guy with his axe? That guy's definitely not getting back up after that.
I mean, no, whatever. I'm not gonna dispute that. But if we're going by important named characters, then technically that's still correct. Cause, uh, well, I only got Mr. 11, but well, say what you will about Mr. 11, but he was important. Important somewhat. Other than that, I don't really got anything else in my cranium. I guess technically he has an argument. If we're going off by important name characters, then I guess he does have an argument. But uh, technically, people die.
A timeline of One Piece, no characters die in real time. None, pretty much none, aside from Ace and Whitebeard, and it took over 500 episodes for them to die. So, and even when they died, their deaths wasn't handled well at all. Ace's death is one of the worst deaths in all of fiction. It had terrible execution, and it actually
Uh,
ruined Ace's character.
Keeps saying it. He keeps saying it's the
he
worst of all
keeps
fiction.
he keeps getting away with it. He
And
can't
he
keep
can't
getting
keep
away with
getting
it.
away with it. Thank you, thank you.
Also, no, he was being dumb and he was protecting his honor. I'm not 100% certain because Ace is kind of a muddled mess. Not muddled mess. Kind of a haze with me since I don't really like Ace. He's cool and all, but he doesn't really tick with me. But it's within his character. He died the way he wanted to die, and he died the way of a hero. I wouldn't say hero since pirates and whatnot, but he went out saving his brother, and that's the thing. He, well, I guess he cherishes most family. Died saving his family.
I, re- I remember reading One Piece as it came out. I remember vividly going through the Marineford arc. I remember when I got to the chapter where Ace died, and I was like, oh my god, they actually did it because it was years in the making of trying to rescue Ace, and it was like, yeah, Luffy's going to rescue Ace. There's no way Luffy would fail after all this time, after all this hardship. Shonen protagonists always do the thing. I mean, there might be losses, but like, Ace isn't going to die, and then he does, and just like, he fucking did it, and then Whitebeard dies shortly afterwards. And I'm like,
And like the worst part is that they got so close to the finish line, but right then and there, at he had to turn around.
What do you say
it's
about
such a
him?
good moment. It all fits in character.
It's very good. Uh but but the worst. It's just the worst. It's the I'm getting angry. It's just the worst. God's sakes.
Worst deaths in all of fiction. It had terrible execution, and it actually ruined Ace's character because Ace is supposed to
Why?
be a he was like second in command to the Whitebeard Pirates. He's supposed to be a smart character, and he's supposed to be a selfless character who actually cared about his brother.
Smart? You could say that. Cares about a brother? You can say that. Where is this going? Please don't. Please don't.
Did he
But he
forget
actually
why he got captured in the first place?
Yes. Being emotional and protecting his brother.
supposed to be a selfless character who actually cared about his brother. But he actually put his brother's life in danger as well as all those people who came to save him. He pretty much ignored all of their sacrifices and put their entire lives in danger by trying to go back and fight the villain when their whole objective was to rescue him
That's
and
not
to,
what
help
happened.
him basically save him from being executed. But he put he basically ignored all of their sacrifices, completely ignored it, ignored their objective, ignored all of their sacrifices and their hard work to save him, and he put all of them in danger at the same time by going back to try to fight the villains just because the villain insulted somebody who he respected, which was Whitebeard.
In the
And that's
ALS
perfectly in
flashback,
character for him to do.
yes, that it got even more exclamation. I mean, it was there was there was more of an exclamation. Well, am I saying that right? Exclamation,
Explanation.
exclamation,
You
and
said exclamation. Explanation.
exclamation. Sorry about that. There was more of an exclamation in his character. Well, technically, I should use the word exploration, but whatever. In his character in the ALS flashback with Sabo dying, and then his determination to keep more of his family safe, and his and his turbulent relationship with Roger and being Roger's descendant. So it's 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 there. The fact that he even attempted to fight Whitebeard. I mean, well, I meant to say Blackbeard. The fact that he attempted to fight Blackbeard and Whitebeard saying not to is his arrogance and and a disobe and a, his arrogance and him not thinking it through because he really cared for his family, and Thatch is a character. I kind of thought we are gonna get a little bit more Thatch action in the flashback of Odin, but wait, I didn't think that. I meant to say I kind of wanted Thatch to get some more character in the flashback. This is what I meant to say. Really, I'm really trying my hard not to sound like I'm trying. Man, I'm rambling. I'm gonna continue the video.
So just because a villain insulted Whitebeard, that caused Ace to completely, ignore Luffy's hard work and to do something extremely selfish that literally put Luffy's life in danger as well as everyone else. And he basically ignored all of their sacrifices and their hard work to save him. And that actually ruined his character. And like it was completely out of character for him to do because he was shown to be a very selfless character who actually cared about his self-proclaimed.
This is completely in character. He's being selfless by saving Luffy's pride slash his pride slash the Whitebeard's pride, which is, well, not smart since he's just, well, engaging in a fight over words, which in Jaya, so on and so forth. Well, technically not the words themselves, but their meaning. Poor Bellamy. Anywho,
Claimed little brother Luffy, but his final moments, his final act showed the complete opposite. It showed that he basically didn't care about he really didn't care about not only Luffy but all those people who kind of rescue him because he literally put all of their lives in danger over something as stupid as a insult from a Kainu about somebody who he cared about.
he put his own life in danger and he disobeyed his captain's order. Come on.
So overall, it literally killed. It ruined Ace's character. Ace is a trash character just because of that. It literally destroyed Ace's character. Literally.
And he saved Luffy. If you want to be technical, Luffy got Ace killed, but all in all, it was a completely emotional moment. Actually, the entire arc was a completely emotional moment for not just Ace, Garp. But they were going off. Ace is not that smart. Come on, guy. You're bumping Ace a little bit too hard.
I mean, he is basically a dumb kid. He's only like, what, 2 years older than Luffy? Maybe 4.
I mean, around that time, Nami was making. Well, actually, around that time. Why am I saying around that time? Even younger than that, Nami was making sea charts, so that's not much of an argument. I'll just say
Yeah, but
he's
also,
definitely brothers with Luffy. I'll definitely say that.
yeah, but to be fair, they were raised by Garp.
Well, raise in quotation marks.
Big quotes.
Oh, Garp. Can't wait to see when he gets some action. I wonder if he's gonna keep his wrestler-esque style. You know what? I don't actually think fighting style anymore. Fighting style really. Fighting style is not a lot, not a lot of fighting style per se, but I meant to say fighting in One Piece as of recent times. Sure, there's fighting, but actual the length of the fight. Yeah, that's about it.
Destroyed it. And the fact that that's literally one of the only 2 deaths that have occurred in real time in a current timeline in One Piece, aside from Whitebeard.
Jesus Christ. The actual time during.
Real time. Of all
Especially
the
when
things he had to bring up.
especially when he already clarified what he meant by real time. 4 hour
And
video.
like he doesn't bring it up for other things. He's conveniently left out all the other times he could have brought up what he meant by all the other terms, like he meant like character development. But now he has to explain what real time is, as if people don't understand what real and time mean. Oh, this video is awful.
Here, that's the only other death aside from Whitebeard that has occurred in One Piece in real time in the current timeline. That makes it drastically worse because one of the only two deaths in One Piece was terribly executed. Now, it's not like the series needs to have a ridiculous amount of deaths in order to make it good. The point is, when it does have deaths, it needs to be executed properly. And also, if a series
Well,
only has two
he just said you need characters dying to have stakes, and now he's saying no, you don't need to have it. You have enough. Which is it? What do you want? What things do you want in the series you make? Why it has to have these things, but it doesn't need to have that many. But it needs to have a few. But not. What do you want out of a series? You just want to complain, on it.
He is really trying to not like One Piece. He's trying so hard.
deaths in 500 episodes, that's ridiculous because you're telling me he's taking 500 episodes for characters to die. That makes a story that makes the number one that makes the villains seem a lot less threatening because they're
Potentially. But if that bomb went out, the story is practically over. I'm referring to Alabasta. Practically. I mean, if Enru actually used his, Actually, if Enru didn't even meet Luffy, yeah, game over. Pretty much game over. If Crocodile. Wait, no. Not Crocodile. If Lucci was just a hair bit better, and a hair bit quicker, and a hair bit luckier, pretty much the end of Luffy. I'm not sure about the Straw Hats, but definitely Luffy died. Just, just saying. It's the
Okay, so
potential.
he's talking about how 500 episodes we only have two on-screen deaths, but that's just he keeps that's because of his metric. It has to be real time for it to count for him. It has to be on screen for it to count for him.
Or does it have to be named characters?
I guess it also has to be named characters for it to count.
I'm giving it more thought. Robin, Chopper, and Frankie did have some character. I'm not certain about Robin. No, I mean, I'm not certain about Frankie. Robin is well, she had the biggest change, but I'm kind of going off of consecutive changes in his environment and how he adapted. So, kind of got Pluton and leaving Galley Law, Water 7 for Frankie. The big moments where she finally accepts her crew, her nakama, and that's a pretty big moment for Robin. And we got Chopper, his entire arc. So yeah, it's kind of a tie between, yeah, whatever.
not killing anybody. If you have a villain that's literally killing pretty much no major characters throughout the entire series, it makes the villains a lot less threatening. It makes the stakes seem pretty much non-existent.
Freaking, I still haven't said Usopp versus. I'm not certain about that since uh he's kind of been the same even after the fight, but he was pretty serious throughout the entire saga. So I guess I could put Usopp. This is a different thing I'm talking about. Bottom line, I really like One Piece. I really do.
It makes the plot armor seem absolutely ridiculous because literally no important characters is dying throughout the series. It makes, like I said, it makes the villains worse because they're not actually accomplishing anything. They're not actually killing any of the major characters or any characters at all, really.
Not not any characters really. We saw two people just get obliterated and dried up into a husk with NL and Crocodile.
Yeah, but not major character. It doesn't count.
What
You
about all the things
on
Buggy
screen doesn't count.
destroyed? What about all the houses Buggy destroyed in the arc he shows up in?
Didn't see bodies doesn't count.
Yeah, didn't see bodies. Not like he had some genius level of cannoneering with that buggy ball able to destroy like a part of a town in one shot. It's not like that was some sort of threatening threat. And then the muggy balls, which is practically a cannonball. Also, cannonballs don't explode, but I'm ignoring that fact for One Piece's sake. But cannonball-sized cannon bomb. That's strange when I said that. Cannonball effectiveness in the size of a marble. I don't know how Muggy makes these Muggy balls or Buggy balls, but it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing. Wait, what was his point going on to? I don't know.
And they can barely kill side characters. Like they can barely kill side characters. So how are you supposed to believe they're gonna kill these main characters who have extremely ridiculous plot armor, like the Straw Hats, for example? And then on top of that, it's just unrealistic that in a world where you have superpowers and eating fruits make you powerful and stuff like that. In a world where you have these superpowers and stuff like that. And first of all, the power system. Another reason why the power system is terrible is because it's extremely unbalanced. Like,
Isn't that a good thing? If variety and there, you know what? I'm not even gonna, since he factually said one of the worst. So I can factually say you're fucking dumb.
Yeah, so I know we probably brought this up already, but he this this doesn't seem scripted because with all the repeating and the he's doing.
I'm not saying as much because he's not saying anything new. He just keeps saying it's the worst, it's bad, it's terrible for the most asinine reasons. This is. And also, I'm counting it out. I used up a lot of my energy to make all those rants earlier.
Don't worry, I'll keep the ranting and the tangents for you and everyone else. Because I got a load of, well, maybe not loads of energy, but enough energy to keep this video going with the tangents and rants.
I blame it on the fact of time zones and stuff.
like literally some fruits are just inherently way stronger than other fruits. So it's like, somebody can just get way stronger than you just by eating a fruit. Pretty ridiculous.
Isn't that a
But
good thing? So the people with the ass devil fruits could train. No, they just don't train their devil fruit. And he didn't. He barely said anything about hockey.
in a world where you have these fruits that give you extremely superpower that give you superpowers, in a world like that, the fact that these villains who have eaten some of the most powerful fruits, the fact that they can't even kill side characters for the most part, it's taking them 500 episodes to even kill a side character. That's pretty ridiculous. It actually makes
Don't forget lesser characters having pretty strong devil fruits, and whatever the hell a jaguar would do in a fight.
Pasta machine.
Giraffes are awesome. I don't want to hear it
Power of a
anymore.
giraffe.
Giraffes are awesome. I love giraffes. Uh, why was the best fight in One Piece so early into its start? It's a tad of a shame, but it's so good. Don't underestimate the limitless destructive power of giraffes.
You know, like I already said, like it makes the villains worse, and it just makes the whole threat level in the story a lot worse. And like I said, it also makes it unrealistic because how are you living in a world with all of these superpowers and all of these evil villains, and yet
What?
they can't kill anybody? They cannot.
Oh, that. There's some level of realism that can and can't be taken with One Piece. Well, One Piece specifically. I won't really go too much in realism and fiction, but in One Piece, characters die and they don't die. Oda really doesn't want to kill off characters.
I mean,
Also, this is a series where Luffy was able to repair his teeth by drinking milk. I don't think realism is where he's looking at, my dude.
like some of these villains, like killing people would be bad for their overall goal because crocodiles taking over a country. If there's no people in the country, what's the point? Wapol takes over a kingdom. If there's no people in the kingdom, what's the point?
Yes, yes, I also like Wapol. Uh, well, Anel was pretty much ready to blow up the entire island, but he specifically wanted to after finishing the arc Maxim, so a specific reason why he didn't. So, apart from them actually dying to something that looks like and you would think is fatal, there are instances where the bad guy just doesn't kill.
Kill. They pretty much can't kill any. They can't even kill.
Yeah, he wanted to blow the bomb over the town after everyone after well the the guards, the straw hats and the numbers. Yeah, that's what they're called. The straw hats, the elite guards, well not the elite guards, but the forces of Alabasta and the numbers, specifically them. They just want to get rid of the powers so he could just take over Alabasta and, and or just have Robin just find the the poneglyph, not ploneglyph, or was it just all a front to get the poneglyph? I'm pretty sure it was just a front to get the poneglyph. Shutting up. This video is almost over.
Side characters who have, who aren't even that powerful. It's pretty ridiculous. And
What?
side characters, they cannot kill. They pretty much can't kill any. They can't even kill side characters who have, who aren't even that powerful. It's pretty ridiculous. And yeah, that's another a terrible aspect about One Piece, that it literally takes over 500 episodes for you to get some major deaths in the series. And even when you do get the deaths, one of them is executed completely terribly, which was Ace's death. Now, so all of that being said,
Uh, what's the? Let's see. I think he had. No, no. It was You may be thinking about the backup detonator for the bomb. Since when Vivi took down Miss Father's Day and Miss Father's Day and Mr. Seven to take care of the cannon, there was a timer on the bomb, so that might be what you were thinking about me. did Miss Father's Day have a frog suit on? Whatever. How does shooting square bullets even work? I'm not thinking too much about that. I should not. Alright, alright.
Yes, I already went over the emotion, which is decent in One Piece, but the threat level and stuff like that is terrible because the lack of deaths. One Piece is very very repetitive, and the main death.
Uh,
Yes, I
since
already went over.
since he's recapping, let's take a recap on his recap, shall we? Maybe
Can I
not.
can I make one point? Can I make one point I just thought on?
Oh yeah,
If
say
he's
what you
counting
will.
deaths, does he not count Mary's as a death then?
Certainly not. If he didn't bring it up, then he does
Because
not
I would
count
count.
it.
Because I would definitely count that as a made character, important to the story, happens in real time, important stakes. I count that as all the qualifiers.
Yeah, but it's a ship.
I honestly think he's better wiki on it.
Yeah, I guess people don't really talk about the Mary's death when talking about, death in One Piece. Since, it's a ship, but the
I mean, I
Klaboutermon,
wouldn't talk
so
about it unless it's. I wouldn't talk about it in case it spoiled someone, but I would still be like, this is an important moment to One Piece.
yeah, it's I would say it's an important death, but did he watch One Piece? Either that or he just
I'm
does not
doubting
care
it.
about the Mary. Nevertheless, that giraffe gif is something else. I I have seen it before,
Giraffes are
but
bitches.
giraffe necks are well, I was about to underestimate their power. Sorry. Yet they don't break their own bones, just clanking their necks against each other's like that. God's sakes.
Over the emotion, which is decent in One Piece, but the threat level and
Explain
stuff like that is
that.
terrible because the lack of deaths. One
Uh,
Piece is very very
deaths,
repetitive.
deaths don't make or break threats. Like I said, there's worse things than death. Okay, I thought you were gonna say something, Ryder.
And
No, not got anything to say currently.
All right, let's see.
the characters in general, character development and characters in
All right,
general.
the repetitive. No, that's the basic premise, but it's what you do with a premise that makes it interesting. If you just quantify everything like that, then it will seem boring. Giving away not giving any context. And then it's gonna talk about characters. What the hell?
Is terrible in One Piece. And
They factually don't. I can actually say that. You're factually wrong.
yeah, so pretty much the only good things about One Piece is the world building. In general, the world is good. The setting and stuff like that, and the world. I'll say world building is good in One Piece, and then
All right.
other than that, and the emotion is okay. Aside from the fact that they cry about boats and stuff in One Piece, but other than that,
Oh no! He doesn't care about the Mary. That took me back. Took me aback.
Yeah, this guy's a bomb, Mary. It's such a good moment, and this guy just doesn't care about One Piece. That's literally all the answer. That's the answer for everything here. He doesn't care. He
Set
cares enough to make
off.
a video, but he just doesn't care.
The setup, payoff, makes you look at the Mary differently. Gonna make you look at the Sunny differently. Potentially every other ship differently. Uh, especially with Fire Tank Pirates. Beggie's group. Why did I say his whatever? The Castelletto. Beggie had regrets taking off the ship as a divergent, so it's not an exclusive thing. So maybe if the entire crew cares as much as like the Straw Hats, or maybe specifically Usopp, the Castle. Why am I saying Castellanetto? That's not the ship's name, unless that is the ship's name. Anyways, that scene would make you think more about ships in One Piece and maybe even real life? Question mark. But that's besides the point. The Mary had character, and potentially other ships would have some sort of character. The how it affects you is one thing, but don't say it was bad. It had plots. It had some plots, and well, technically you can't say execution and payoff were bad or good, since that's kind of subjective. But actually, I don't even know why he doesn't like the Mary's death, so I'm not going to continue with this.
Yeah, and the emotion is okay. Aside from the fact that they cry about boats and stuff in One Piece, but other than that, flashbacks tend to be pretty decent. So basically, it's okay when it comes to emotion, and is pretty good when it comes to world building. Other than that, One Piece is absolutely, and pretty much every other category is pretty garbage. It's pretty garbage in pretty much every other category, and yeah, power system is terrible. Villains are terrible. The characters, on
Didn't
average, are
explain
pretty
about
bad,
villains. Barely
and
explained it.
it's very
Barely
very
explained.
repetitive, and
Fundamentally,
overall just
perhaps,
not
but
really a good story. And plus, it's thousands of chapters long. The pacing, another big problem with One Piece,
uh
is very slow
oh,
paced at some
uh
points. The
oh.
pacing is terrible.
Is he saying about the anime? If he says that, he should know about the anime and manga thing. Know how anime and manga usually work. So this isn't a real issue with the anime. I mean, that depending on how serious he thinks this is, but if it's serious, then we have something to say, buddy.
Well, I know. I've not seen the video, but I can roughly guess what he's going to say. Well, he probably won't, but most likely he'll say this is the worst pacing in all of fiction. All of it. No other series is paced worse than One Piece
This is factually
because
the
of
worst paced anime I have ever. No, the worst paced anime in all of fiction. What the freaking. Of all of fiction. Just
of
the totality of it all.
objectively
Objective.
based off all the anime I've seen, like Naruto.
No, I'm on the character thing. I can only say I can only say because any other reason would make him sound even dumber solely off the definition of character development that he gave. If it's any other reason from that, then I really do question how he, reads manga. Freaking Sasuke boy.
I mean, we're implying he reads.
He brought up anime, manga. He brought up manga screenshots. So
He
at the
probably
very
looks
least, he
at the
reads.
pictures.
At the very
He's
least, he at least
clearly not taking in the information.
he tries to read Naruto. At the very least,
Another big problem with One Piece is very slow paced at some points. The pacing is terrible.
some
The
points,
overall the repetitive story structure and format is terrible.
some
Pacing is terrible.
some points. Oh no, he's not referring to the anime's pacing. He's referring to the actual pacing of the story. No, no, you can't just. It's when you. It's the adventure, not the destination. And if that's even the reason what he's whatever. At some
You can't
points.
just drop. You can't just drop the story as bad pacing like with several minutes of the video left to go. You need to bring this up earlier, my dude.
And he said at some
Even then, he's wrong,
points.
but still.
He said at some points, so it's not specifically the anime anime catching up with the manga. It's just specifically some points. So I can only presume it's about the destination. He just wants people to get to the destination rather than enjoying the journey.
terrible. And all of the other things I talked about, villains, the power system, the characters, all of those things are terrible,
All right, now it
pretty much
just
in One
repeated
Piece.
itself again.
And yeah, so overall, it's a pretty, like, objectively, I would say it's close to being very, very bad. It's close to being bad. Now, some characters are decent. Like it's a couple.
All right, out of everything you said, you cannot say that. Even if you think, even well, even if it's objectively the worst characters, it potentially isn't very bad since the room is very bad, yet everyone enjoys it. Wait, no, that's not what he said. Let me hear what he said.
It's close to being bad. Now, some characters are pretty, like, objectively, I would say it's close to being very, very bad.
Objectively, it's close to being very, very. Not only you can't do that, that's not possible in the way of, you know, yeah, possible in the way of arguments. You can't just say that. That's not how arguments can be formed. But well, that's it. You just can't say that in the aspect of an argument. You can't just say it's objectively bad. You can't just say it's objectively bad. Even even something that like The Room, you could say it is bad, but you have to say there are aspects of it that are objectively bad. Uh you even something as bad as, well, I'm using The Room as an example, but in this, for the sake of the argument, you can't say it's objectively bad. That's what I'm trying to say. Am I
You
wrong in
could
thinking
make the
that?
argument. You could say something is objectively bad, but you need to actually state what you mean by it, in what ways, in what regards, in what factors, compared to what. There's a lot you have to go into to actually do that. It the, the idea is fine. It's just the arguments backing it need to actually be good, which he has demonstrated his ability to not do
Uh,
at all.
I
He would
suppose.
get 0 points for his arguments.
Yeah, I'm suppose I'm just going off what he said rather than the entire video where he said absolutely nothing except the Mary's death being whack.
Like, if we were grading him, if we were to ask him a question and we ask him to explain his reasoning, he would fail everything.
Yeah, it was my
I
oversight.
just finished watching the ALX video on like the Dragon Ball video, like the iconic Super Saiyan moment. This video is longer, but somehow still is nothing. Literally nothing's been said.
It's just recognizable, and the guy really liked the scene. Quote unquote recognizable. As as they say, iconic isn't a thing. It pertains to an icon, which technically anything can be iconic. So on and so forth. Why is this video not over yet?
It's close to being bad. Now, some characters are decent. Like it's a couple characters that are pretty decent in One Piece. Me personally, I like Zoro and Nami a lot, even though that they might. Nami, she does. You could say she has slight amounts of character development, like very, very slight. I could see an argument for that.
Explain why is it
Zoro,
slides,
maybe,
please. No,
but
already.
I just like them. Their characters because I like Zoro's never give up attitude. It's kind of like Rock Lee from Naruto, even though Rock Lee has better character development and stuff like that. But yeah, point
You
being,
don't do that in
in
an
general, you know,
argument.
there are a couple
I've
of
never heard
Okay, he
anyone
just
compare
explains.
Rock Lee to Zorro.
He just explained one
That is,
thing about character, and it's just comparing it to a Naruto character. So yeah, this character is not this character. No, I'm sorry. I meant King Anime Review sucks at making videos. Goodbye. I'm not watching the rest of this. Maybe. Okay, I'm gonna watch the rest of this.
decent characters here and there. Nico Robin and Usopp, they're pretty, decently done. Frankie, he's a pretty decently written character. But overall, characters are pretty garbage. Basically, in general, One Piece is a very, at most you can say is mediocre, but it's close to being bad. So with all of that being said, yeah, that's my review for One Piece. The grade for it, I'm gonna give it a D. It's a D minus. I'm gonna give it a D minus. Actually, no, F. I'll say it. I'll say a
Close to being bad, but gives it an F. If we're going by the regular, ranking of like A to F, then it's bad. It's horrible.
a B minus is pretty damn good for a series.
Yeah.
That's
Things can't
the
be
thing.
A's, otherwise we won't know what the hell an A really is. And B minus is
If
pretty
a, if a
good.
C is if a C is a passing grade, a B minus is pretty damn strong. So I don't know.
Don't know how he's ranking this.
F plus. F plus, close to a D minus. You know what? In between there, I'll say, yeah, F plus. Yeah, F plus, close to D minus. And overall,
All right, it's 5.5. So is it going like? Are we gonna go to like G, and that's like 4.4 out of 10, or?
No, but an F is the lowest score. I don't see people score things lower than an F. An F is the lowest score you possibly get on these sorts of systems.
Unless
Unless he made his
depending,
own system.
unless depending on on the education system, they score an F, and it's not.
I've never seen
Yeah.
an education system that does lower than an F. Like a 5.5 is like a maybe like a D. Yeah, like a D. I would say for a 5.5.
Usually, if it's 60, 60 or below, it's an F. Sometimes it's a D minus. And that's like being.
I understand the math there, but he's using the out of 10 scaling,
Yeah,
which,
that's really weird.
yeah. Whatever. Whatever. At least I can say factually this guy does not understand One Piece, and he factually is dumb.
Oh
Well,
man,
either that
and
or he just, one or the other. Didn't read One Piece, is dumb. One or the other. I'll take either or.
I can't wait to see what he does on the Naruto video. You know, the anime he likes.
The GOAT. Greatest of all time. My left nut. My Hanya nuts.
I'll give it a 5.5 out of 10 for the overall rating. It's a F plus,
What?
5 out of 10, series. So overall, but me
Oh, you
personally, I
just
do
gave him
like
two separate.
the adventure aspect of it. So on a personal level, if I was, gonna grade on based on how much I like it, I personally would give it a six to like a six. I'll give it a 6 to a 6.5 out of 10 as far as how much I enjoyed it personally. But in terms of objective,
I don't want to say anything more. I do not want to say anything more, but
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get anything more of
how?
this other than like maybe like an ending section.
What is his thought process? That's all I'm gonna say. Because his scoring is extremely. Oh, forget him saying the Mary's death was whack. How does he score these things? Cause these sounds relatively fair. He's going by overall quality to a personal, which his personal feelings on it is higher than his quote unquote objective thoughts on the series. So either he's being lenient or strict with one of these grades. Wait, I said more than what I wanted to say. Oh well. Cuz he's definitely not being fair with this grade. One of these grades anyways.
Objectively, I think it's. I mean, not. I think objectively 5.5 out of 10 and an F plus. But personally, in terms of what I think and how much I like it. Well, no, in terms of how much I enjoyed it personally, I'll give it a 6.5. In other words, I'll give it like a D, like a D plus to a D, D to a D plus. But objectively, I'll say it's a 5.5 out of 10.
All right, that's okay. F plus is 5.5, D is 6.5 or D plus. So I'm guessing 7 is C. Uh, 80 is like a B plus. 90, uh, well, off of his math, it should be like F5, D6, so on and so on. So I guess that's how he's ranking it. But then why is it out of 10? What's lower than a. Don't say
Okay,
anything.
so want to know something? To
Sure.
him, C plus is a 7.0. So going from 2 whole letter grades is only 1.5?
What do you mean a 1.5? You're saying he's getting numbers wrong?
Yep.
Oh, alright.
Wouldn't be the first thing he's gotten wrong.
Someone posted something about the the sixth One Piece movie, and I kind of want to touch on that since because it's One Piece and it's the sixth movie. That's about it. But this has to be if you guys also watch the movie.
One Piece movie 6 is it's such a good movie.
Pretty tight. It's definitely top 5, maybe top 3.
Very, very, very different tone wise to normal One Piece, but it makes it really good. And it's such a good film.
Maybe not tonally wise, but it has a consistent bleakness to it. Also, the premise and the actual story is relatively unique because, well, spoilers, but spoilers because I really want people to look at it. Well, of course, after watching One Piece for a good bit. But yeah, I would say it's a rather unique movie, but I'm just gonna say rather unique for One Piece movies. Definitely, definitely. But hey, that's just my opinion. It's subjective, isn't that right, Anime King? Goddamn, genuine anger.
And the grade overall is a F plus for One Piece. So with that being said, yeah.
What?
But objectively, I'll say it's a 5.5 out of 10, and the grade overall is a F plus for One Piece. So with that being said, yeah.
Right.
That's what I got to say
I'm
about
not
One
gonna
Piece.
decipher that.
Overall, a very overrated and it's very, very overrated, and it's close to being a bad series. At most, you can say it's mediocre, but for the most part, it's pretty bad. Now, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and clicking that channel notification bell to be notified on all of my future videos. If you liked the video, please drop a like. And also drop a comment and let me know what you thought of my review and of this video in general in the comment section below. And yeah, share the video all over the internet, and I'll catch you
Straight
guys in the next one.
facts.
Peace out.
One Piece is just too overrated. Another. God, that's loud. What the f? No, not yet. Straight facts. One Piece is just too overrated. Another great video from a great YouTuber. Whatever you say, man. Do you know that outside of the Devil Fruits, there's hockey? Which One Piece main power system post time. Not post time skip per se, but I know what you mean by that. What's your top 10 fave anime? Interesting. Might talk about that in a video. Uh, please do, but I won't see it. Pretty much everything in the video is wrong. Yeah. Alright. Let's take a gander at this AMV. Because it's looking a pretty cringe.
Oh yeah, he did say he was an AMV maker. Oh lord, what's he going to even do? Is he going to put Linkin Park over Naruto? That's the classic thing to do.
Linkin Park over anything. That's the classic thing to do. Goddamn. Every promise I've been praying for tonight. Hold on to every garment. Want to run tonight. Well, that was cringe. And that's objective. Get the fuck out of here.
And speaking of objective, Rent a Girlfriend is objectively better than One Piece, 7 out of 10.
He did not give it a 7 out. Did he give it a 7 out of 10? Or are you referring...
Check the chat.
It's in the chat.
Alright. I do believe I've just gone blind. Alright. This guy is not smart.
Also, we can't get a accurate reading on what his grading system is, because those are the only 2 videos he's done for other anime, I guess.
God, that's a lot of Naruto. I guess all my energy's been zapped now. That's pretty interesting. Unless you guys want to watch something else. We'll watch some more of this guy's video. God, that's a lot of Boruto.
We'll see one of his AMVs, then we'll probably call it there. I'm fairly tapped out, but I've got time for one thing.
This one looks decent. Not really. Every promise I've been praying for. Never mind. AMV. Just talking about Boruto. Which one's better? Naruto versus One Piece. 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 5 seconds. Just gonna take a little
We'll save that for another time.
Gander at that.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to King Anime Review. And for this video, I'm going to be talking about Naruto versus One Piece. Now, I'm going to add this little bonus clip to the video because I forgot to talk about this in the actual video. But also, one other thing I want to say is this is going to be a long video, about almost an hour long. Now, you guys, I'm pretty sure a lot of you watch podcasts and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure if you guys really want a very in-depth detailed analysis on these two series
Oh, let
and
me
why
hear
I
it. Let me hear it.
think one is better than the other. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to want to hear all these points in detail, so you guys shouldn't have a problem with it.
All right, lots of points and details you bring
Love
up.
his brother Luffy, and whose desire was to protect Luffy. Yet he put
Yeah,
Luffy in danger uh by extending that war that was going on. The whole point of the war was to go get Ace, and
right.
Luffy
Uh, okay. Uh, also, I'm pretty sure even people who like One Piece would say One Piece is not as popular as Naruto, specifically in the West.
I'm calling it here for me. I'm getting tired.
Yeah, I guess this could. I'll just highly recommend this video to the, you know, A-listers, because, pretty much 2 episodes in one. God damn this guy. Uh, oh, well, if you ever see this video, well, I could just DM this. If you guys want to, catch up on movie 6, I have. Wait, Tekken made this? Never mind. Well, I'm not gonna watch that. I was about to say, but Tekken 101 made this. I don't hate him. I just don't really care for him. I watched him when I was relatively younger, and even now, I'm not a big fan of his energy. Kind of don't like it. Well, I guess that's it then. The end of the street recording. Oh yeah.
Alrighty, I'm a head out.
Well, all right then. I guess this is the end.